Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Wrestless Podcast. Yes, this is yet another wrestling podcast that you see in front of you, but you might be surprised to know that we aren't three very old former bookers who were last relevant before the World Trade Center fell. So, what we plan to do? This is not a serious podcast. If you want serious, like, numbers, ratings, all that shit, just go and watch Wrestling Observer Live. It's fine. We'll wait. Now, we here believe wrestling should be fun. That's what it has always been for us. And that is what we plan to do. Because we just find this sport so captivating in its realness, in its silliness, and in the moments in between. So, I will have a general introduction. All the hosts here will introduce themselves. So I'll start with me. Hello, I am David Kirwan. I am the sort of brainchild behind this whole clusterfuck you're witnessing right now. I am currently training in both in the Fight Factory Pro Wrestling School and in the School of Irish Wrestling, as you can see, which is the school for over-the-top wrestling, a local indie promotion in Dublin. I watched wrestling a lot as a child, but I didn't stick with it in my teen years. Ironically enough, it was another Irish YouTuber, a lad by the name of Super Eye Patch Wolf. He put out a video called Why I Find Professional Wrestling Fascinating, or something to that effect. And it just blew me away, especially the last third, which is the story of the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. And ever since, I have been watching wrestling every day, day in, day out, week in, week out for the last 5 years. On 6 of this case. But, yeah, I find this fascinating. I find the conversations that I have with these two idiots fascinating. And I thought, we just have so many strange, bizarre, cancelable worthy opinions on this. So I thought, hey, someone else might find this entertaining. Why don't we just make it a show? And there you go. But without further ado, I'll hand it on to the only one here who has done preparation, Mr. Jeff Cooney. Take it away, Jeff.
Hello, everybody. I am the second of 3 white guys talking about wrestling. So if you haven't heard that before, strap in, baby, because it's going to be a good one. In terms of wrestling, I started watching as a kid, like everyone, and unfortunately, the 2010s didn't kick me off from WWE. I stuck with it, and it was terrible, and it's the cause of most of my trauma, but we'll get to that later on. So I'm not training like David is or anything like that. I just have a love for it. I'm probably more AEW side to WWE, but I watch both, and I watch like a little bit of indie here and there and stuff like that. I've recently been going back and rewatching Lucha Underground for the first time, and it's great. I've watched like 1 episode so far, but it's fantastic. It's really, really good. It's nice seeing like places like Johnny Mundo or Prince Puma, and first experience of like Dario Cueto. He's great. But yeah, that's pretty much it. David said it to me about the podcast, and I was like, I've been waiting to join a 3 white man group of podcasts for like years, because I'm in my mid-20s now, and that's what you do when you're a white man in your mid-20s. So that's pretty much it for me. And I'll hand it over to the person who did the least preparation, Seán Moroney, everybody.
I think that's an oversell for myself, if I'm honest with you. I did no preparation, and this is all off the cuff. Hello, my name is Seán. My mates call me Moroney. I started watching wrestling, and I can pinpoint it to a pay-per-view. My first show was WrestleMania 26, when Shawn Michaels retired, and for the following year after, professional wrestling lied to me about what it was. But it was okay. because I started watching them back because the product was so terrible. I fell in love with lovely gentlemen and drug addicts like Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam, and it's what kept me watching up until this very date. Now, at the moment, I'm not training, but aspire to be one day when I'm financially stable, if that ever occurs. But my experience with professional wrestling consists of me being roughly about 8 or 9 years old, smashing a steel chair off my brother enough to give him CTE. But when Kirwan came to me and he said, we're going to be doing a wrestling podcast, how do you feel about it? My first thought was, I should not be on the internet for a prolonged exposure of time. And then I gave it a second thought. And I just thought, these boys would be nothing without me. So here I am, your real champion. That's really difficult to do without swearing.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Yeah. I'll just cut this next bit out. I'm being called.
Oh, lovely.
No, leave it in. Leave it in the edit. Big coward.
What?
It actually went better than I thought.
Technically, yeah. Oh yeah, Zoe. I got something for you yesterday.
Oh, he's going to give me gifts.
I've got like a migraine on the back of my head.
I'm
just like, trying not to swear.
Oh, I thought you meant you actually had a migraine. I was like, you're fucking plenty.
Oh, no, there's a real pain here.
Oh,
Okay, so this bit's being cut out. We're fine now.
Hey, we can put it in the behind the scenes video that we release in like 20 years when this is cancelled and the other one's dead. The royalties, baby.
The rise and fall of the Wrestless Podcast.
It was a good one episode podcast.
Yeah. When we officially get like cancelled, we'll do like a box set of like all our cancelable moments that never made it to air just to fuck, like, apologies.
Yeah.
Try and put it behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Restless extra.
The self-destruction of the Wrestless Podcast.
Uncut,
Spaceless. Oh god, James.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, let's say too. Oh, Jesus Christ. My dad has brought a crane fly.
Hey! Get him on
Hey!
wrestling.
Yeah, I'm, no, don't, Dad.
Leave him there. Yes! Get him on mic.
Alright, I'll be recording for a bit.
Get him involved in the storyline.
Get
Yeah.
him a mic and a headset, big coward.
One day.
Brett.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, his, I might leave this in. I'll just say, oh, my dad just came in. He dropped a dead daddy long legs on my microphone. And we're talking about, oh, you're around for Brett. And technically, he was actually. Like, his overall wrestling knowledge is like late 80s WWF, like Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Mr. Perfect. And weirdly enough, World of Sport. Like, every time he sees me in my gear, he does the Big Daddy, you shut up! Without fail.
So he would have done professional wrestling essentially when athletes had the athletic capabilities of yourself and, ironically, your dad.
Oh, yeah. That's why they call him Big Daddy.
And I would love your dad.
Big Daddy.
Oh, they would. Well, that's what he calls himself.
I'll start calling him it too as well. Or
Big sexy.
I mean, enough of my friends are gay, so he probably wouldn't be shocked.
Enough of my friends are gay.
That's true. That's a shoot. That is a shoot.
It's a shoot, brother.
I
It's something to a shoot, brother.
Poop brother, HH.
Much love, kiss, HH.
Yeah.
I wonder by the end of this how much of this podcast will actually be about wrestling.
Oh, we'll see. Okay, so, Jeff, if you would like to start us off with the Raw show that happened this week.
I can't remember a single thing that happened on Raw.
Okay, but
Don't worry, Moroney. That's why we're here. So,
Thank you.
Raw kicked off. First of all, I want to get everyone's take on like Joe Tessitore. What we feeling about him as a commentator? Do we like him? Do we not like him? I think he's good.
I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think he's good. He has a very like wrestling voice, like that.
Sounds like Morrow a bit.
He does, but a bit deeper than Morrow. But yeah.
He's not going to be my Raw commentator until Heidenreich properly breaks him in.
We're like 5 minutes in.
I was told not to swear. I didn't.
It's not a swear. You see, Sean, just for you, that's going to be the first thing that gets clipped. And it's going to have the photo of Heidenreich and peroxide blonde fucking yeah. Oh gosh.
You know, it's what it is. It's like a walk of validity. You know, he has to go through the motions before I can consider him one of the greats.
Who would even be an equivalent to fucking Heidenreich now? Karrion Kross?
Oh, don't.
Lars Sullivan.
No.
Oh, no. Okay, Braun Strowman.
No,
yeah.
don't do Braun dirty like that.
No, but like, speak about it. Like, he just has him in the corner and then it's just...
They called him the monster among men for a reason.
It's actually the monster among monsters now, which I hate a lot.
Yeah.
But anyways, alright, so...
The King of Kings.
Decide to grow fucking hair. So,
alright, Jeff, before we get derailed again.
Yeah, okay, let's keep it on track. So, Raw started off with Punk's promo, which everyone really loved, and I thought was fine. I thought it was okay. So, yeah, go on.
Like, he cuts a very good emotional promo, but it's all done in the same tone. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I saw a lot of people say that, like, oh, well, he's having a more serious tone and he's, you know, bringing out how serious this is about his family and all this. And, like, it just felt very monotone to me. And that, I don't know, maybe it's because I've soured on Punk a little bit recently. That could be it, could be bias and everything. But, like, because I saw everyone else be like, oh my God, that really sold me on the match. Like, Luke Owen from WrestleTalk was like, that was fantastic. And they really put it over. And I was like, I love Luke, but I don't agree with him here. Like, I was like, it was fine, but I didn't think it was anything special.
I don't think you're gonna get much more investment for this Hell in a Cell match than you already have with the, what is it now, 9 months of booking?
Yeah, about 9 months, which is a shame because like the build up and the booking has been so good. I just think the matches have let it down a bit, but I think the Hell in a Cell turned around and kind of built it up a bit. But anyways, I'll just go through a few notes like on the promo. So he told Drew that he was going to make him bleed, so I felt like he was a bit Batfleck there. You know, bad memories.
You will bleed.
Yeah, true. And then I just put down like he's saying all the right things, which he was, but it's just I'm not believing it, I'm not clicking. But Wade Barrett had the best line in this promo at the end because he hit it with the devil is going in down to Georgia and he's looking for a soul to steal, which was brilliant. I love Wade. Big fan of Wade.
Wade has always been like, whether as a wrestler cutting a promo or as an announcer, he has been probably one of the best for like the last 15 years.
Oh, agreed. Like, I went back to me and
no, go ahead, sorry.
Me and Sean have been rewatching WrestleManias, and I watched in the build-up. I watched what was it? I think it was the show. I think it was Chamber. Is that where the Shawn Wyatts had their...
Oh yeah, this was before we watched 31. Yeah.
I was rewatching that. Great show, by the way. But Wade pops up on his little. He's doing the Bad News Barrett thing, I think, at that point, and he pops up and just like craps all over everybody. It's fantastic. It's so good. But yeah, when we move on to the next little bit and roll, does anyone have any thoughts?
I haven't given any thoughts. What are you on?
Okay, sorry,
let Sean give his thoughts.
You Yeah, absolute. It's very difficult to not swear. This is my big problem.
Hold on,
I
hold
need a
on.
script next time. But look, I think the promo. Look, I've loved the matches Drew and Punk have had. I don't know where Jeff was going. They've kind of derailed the feud. Are not as great as he thought he was. I don't care. He's not injured. He's not injured. It's fine. I haven't soured on him. But Punk delivered that promo like he only found out about the Hell in a Cell stipulation the second he got to the arena. Okay?
It does kind of feel like that. You're not wrong.
Like, it wasn't... Like, I've seen that man cut legendary promos. They still post his promos from 11 years ago on TikTok, and they get the most views. This one was just bad. Now, in terms of the, I'm going to make him bleed, I was similar enough in Jeff's reaction of, oh no, we're watching Batman versus Superman. But it did get a thought in my mind. What would be Drew McIntyre's kryptonite? I had a long, long thought about this because I know the obvious answer, but they can't bring him out. He's in court at the moment. But my second thought was get Jinder, get Heath Slater, get him to turn heel on Drew, get the feud pushing a bit more.
Mystery-Man band.
Print your money, get it going to Mania.
WLC Part 2.
Watch Trips book his second Hell in a Cell since he's been in charge because he doesn't want to do it annually anymore, and watch it be absolute garbage because, it's either going to injure Punk or there's going to be some shenanigans anyways. But in terms of the promo itself, I didn't enjoy it. The match, I still have faith in. I like the fact that, the Fed are making their easy money by selling the bracelet on the shop because I think they should still fight for it.
Yeah. Oh God, can we just briefly talk about the whole drama around that?
Because Jeff has such strong opinions about this.
Yeah, if they had just told the girl in advance, granted a friendship bracelet is not a complicated design, if they had just said so beforehand and got her permission, which is what she said, she would have just let them do it if they had just asked her. But they took it down, put it back up altered, and just, why? What was the point? Just go to the person who made this. It's a pivotal part of your fucking top feud for the last 3 months.
Yeah, I'm sure the revenue of the clips of the bracelet anyways has made back the money, but whatever. I think it's fine. It's a nice, meaningful feud without a championship because I feel like the roster is a bit lacking when it comes to that recently.
Yeah, hold on. I would just like to ask, has anyone seen that thing going around of the bracelet being treated as a championship?
The lineage.
Yeah.
I have. I love how Seth is on that list.
Oh yeah. I'll just briefly mention because we're going to talk about outside stuff that we find interesting as well. Someone posted, for whatever reason, I think he's at a football game, and for what I saw, he just confronted a celebrity and got tossed over the fucking barricade. Just running.
Oh God.
Well, obviously this is stage, but also weird move, but okay. And we'll give a brief mention to NXT later. We'll talk about sports people involvement later on. But yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, Jeff. I think we're about done with the Punk stuff. Let us move on.
Perfect. So next we have Sheamus versus Peter Dunne. He's back and new enough because he was Butch for years and everybody hated it. But now he's Peter Dunne again. Well, Pete Dunne.
Yeah. Well, technically he's Peter England, but yes. Which that is, though, his wrestling name sounds like his real name, and his real name sounds like a wrestling name.
Yeah, true, right? It's
Is this the match to expect Sheamus got his hand caught in the turnbuckle? Or was that last week?
That could have been last week. I don't have it mentioned. I just have a few little points on this, so I'll just run through the few points and then we can get overall what's on the match itself. First of all, it's another great match because it's Sheamus and Pete Dunne. It's fun. The boys go in. They have a bit of a banger.
After
it's
banger.
It's a good TV match. After
the
banger. Exactly. So just a few notes on it. I thought the 10 beats being reversed into Pete's joint manipulation and snapping the fingers was fun. That's always fun. I like it. I know a lot of people don't. I think it's fun.
Yeah, like
so we had that. Mm-hmm.
Like joint manipulation, especially like if it's not something you regularly see, it can come across as very just sort of either edgy or fake looking, but I think Pete Dunne, obviously he's been doing it for 20 years now. It's something he does really well. It always looks like it hurts so much.
No, exactly. So I also put down, no matter how silly the premise is about like, oh, Pete's gonna be my butch or whatever, you know, I get it. It's a bit silly. It's like the Kane date thing, right? But I don't care because they're going out there and they're beating the piss out of each other and it's fun.
Yeah.
Wait until we're on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Very true. That's gonna be fun. Yeah. It's gonna be fun to see how it changes.
I would like to briefly mention that Raw's going back to 2 hours for 4 months and then going back to 3 hours when it comes to Netflix. And
SmackDown's going to 3 for like the first half of next year. I assume to account for Rock's hour promos, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, the blood. We should have a bit to see how long, including the entrances, the Bloodline segments take.
I give them no less than an hour. They're adding an hour to the show just for the Bloodline, and they're still going to go over.
If what they're saying about Death Rebel not getting their contract, continued, make the entrances 1 hour long again, like they did in NXT. It really helps some superstars.
Yeah, all that.
I don't know what Shawn Michaels' wife was on about. She doesn't know wrong.
Maybe this is their own today, okay? Don't close her if she's scared on the wall. I'm too distracted. Where's Adam? Not home?
He was home.
I know he's on around. Okay.
Sorry about that, my mother came in. Asking me to look after my sister. I'm like, yeah, duh. Okay.
Look at you have a mother.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm just going to edit my face out of this bit, so you can just continue on. I'll just write technical difficulties. All right, and okay. But as for the thoughts of this match and really the feud so far, I am a big fan of it. I am a very big fan of these two lads. I have always been. I think if they get it done right, yes, I can see the championship. It should be for that, but yeah. I think probably Pete should come out the bar looking for this.
No!
Yeah.
Shut up. It should be Pete.
It should be. It should always
These are
be
all Irish
Pete Dunne.
We love Sheamus, but Pete has been crapped on left, right, and center since he left NXT. So
yeah,
I think
does it mind you?
Yeah,
Sheamus has had enough dubs.
He is a dub.
True. I'm just gonna wrap up the last couple thoughts before I hand it over to Moroney. Just in the match itself. So obviously love the fact that they're just absolutely ripping each other apart. Big fan of the matches. The premise is out, but it doesn't matter if we get something positive for Pete and Sheamus afterwards. It's good stuff. Lovely breathrope power slam for a near fall, and then Pete Dunne hit Sheamus with a cricket bat, and that's harder than a baseball bat. Just so everyone knows, and I'd reiterate again, Wade Barrett, the goat of commentary for mentioning that.
All right, Sean, I'll get back to that in a minute. But Sean, you say your piece.
I think the feud is going at a nice, steady pace. It's building both men up quite nicely. I think now keep in mind I didn't watch the full match. I only watched the highlights. But I think this feud is only going in one direction. It should only end one way. The true way that you resolve a feud between an Irishman and an Englishman. Pub fight.
Yeah.
Do
Would
it tastefully
love that.
this time.
Bring it back to
But better
fight
than the
night.
Hardy one.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Do it tastefully this time. Smack him over the head with a pint. Who cares? Have Sheamus try to drink a pint of Guinness and Butch just slam it off the fucking ground. You know, that will properly get him Irishman rightfully angry.
I
It'll become
think
real then.
I think if you're gonna go full stereotype, just have Sheamus turn the Guinness into his version of the Asian Mist.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. The Black Mist.
Yes.
Oh,
It's also what Moroney calls himself after 10 pints.
What can I say, boys? You know, Feel Spuds, creamy pints, Sunday morning, Sunday night.
You're incorrigible. Also, I think it's been long past 5 minutes. You can swear now.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank Christ.
I know it's
Right.
just swear once, Kirwan, and I've just taken that as my right. We can fucking do it now.
There we go. The first
It's
swear of the
the
podcast.
Look, we're simply just simple Irishmen, and we can't get through a sentence without using "fuck" like an adjective. But we'll try our best.
Look at the adjective. Fuck.
He's a terrible man. Okay, I would just I'll edit this back in. My thought of when you mentioned the cricket bat, has anyone here seen the Savage Eye before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a recurring segment about the Catholic Church, but like there's one scene where it's like the popularity of the GAA was promoted by the church in schools. And it just cuts to a priest just whacking the shit out of a kid with a cricket bat. And then the bishop comes up to him and goes like, "How dare you hit that child with the fucking cricket bat?" He grabs the schletter, hands it to him, and is like, "Use this. Don't let me see you do that again." Fuck. I love this crazy sport.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
but we're getting derailed. Heavy.
Yeah, so we'll go back. We had a couple of backstage segments. So we had a Terra Twins backstage seg. I didn't write down much, so I assume not much happened. I think this was the one where Jay came over and was like, "Oh, Priest, I got your back, Oos," or whatever, you know, and then he hit the yeet, and then Rhea looked off screen at him and was like, because like she wants him or whatever, you know. So that was fun.
Yeah. I would just like.
think it's just so disappointing the uses for Rhea Ripley since they've, ended the Judgment Day. Because it's like, yeah, she's a sex icon, but she's not only that. Fucking remember that.
Shut up, Becky Lynch, alright? She's having fun. Leave Bobby have her fun, alright? That's I don't think it's the best use of her, but I think it's fine, it's serviceable. Her and Jay, whatever. I know Rikishi's mad about it. Sure. You should be world champion, Rikishi, I get it.
Can we fucking an interjection? Can we talk about the tweet Rikishi put out the other day? Like about Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah, where everyone was like, is he dead?
Yeah, it's like, send prayers out for Jimmy. Yeah, it's hard. Hashtag bloodline, hashtag Fatu, hashtag Oos. I'm just like...
Hashtag not booked.
Yeah. He's injured.
I don't know if you've seen, I've seen the tweet, but this is the one time to which I've gone on fucking wrestling Twitter. I saw the tweet and one of the top comments on it was fucking 3 losses in your family in a couple of months be really fucking hard on you.
He's so angry about it. He's been tweeting about Jay for ever. It's just been so angry. It's like, he should be in a world title picture. It's like,
my
I
friend,
don't know.
a friend of mine who I probably will have on this show in the future, good mate of mine, he exclusively refers to Jay as the man who does the yeet. And Rikishi's like, but he does the yeet. He should have all of the championships for the next 7 years.
I will just add in, I get now he does the yeet and whatever and the Flanderization of Jay Uso as a character. It's over, but also Jay was a lot more than yeet back in the day. I know he's not these days. I know they've lost kind of the intricacy with his character, and that's probably because he's not with the bloodline stuff at the minute. But he's a really good actor. He's a really good character wrestler. And like, ever since Mania, I think it's been derailed.
Yeah, Sean, go ahead.
Like, I'm going to be very upset if he doesn't, like, win the Intercontinental title off Braun. I know it's a short reign. My God, we do not need a minimum of 3-month reigns every reign. It's tiring. It's exhausting. Yeah. It makes predictions so unbelievably predictable. And Braun
says the man who hasn't won because David wins all of them.
I've won one of them. David's won all of them except one. He's been either a winner or a joint winner except one, and I won it.
Acknowledge me.
Moroney turned into Dolph Ziggler from like 5 years ago there. He's even got the IC belt.
No, it should have been Sean.
Sean screwed Sean, in my opinion. But anyways, I feel like, again, we're getting off that beaten track. So I'll bring it back. We had another backstage segment up next. It was the Braun and Miz one before the...
Oh, I saw this before I'd even watched the episode, and it was just like...
Miz was being like, hey, you don't think I can take Bronson Reed? And Braun Strowman was like, in his head, probably going, no, you bloody well can't, you're the Miz. But in his head, he's like, oh no, I didn't mean that. Sometimes it takes a monster to beat a monster. And he's like, so you're saying I'm not a monster? And he was like, basically, I don't know, like he tried to end it amicably, but Miz is like angry because people don't think you can take Bronson Reed, who's like wrecking the roster, and put Rollins on the shelf. So I don't know why he's angry.
He made a car explode. He made a car explode.
He did, and it was sick. It was so cool.
Honestly, I think the Fed need to come up with like more brutal, like, takedowns when it comes to promos like this. I would turn around to Miz and be like, you're the only chap who's botched this WrestleMania main event so much that they have to restart the match. And go from there.
He beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Don't you forget it, because they aren't letting us. So
they also got double counted out.
They did, yeah.
The worst way you could have just done this, like, even just like the low blow pin, that would have been fine.
Wait,
would have been grand.
That's a serious question. Because they, like, I know this is derailing a little bit, but like, because they restarted that match, technically that's 2 different exhibitions. Is The Miz a 2-time main eventer of WrestleMania?
Well, if Big Show versus Drew was the main event, then yes, which I believe. So yes, it bloody was. Big Show was the main event of WrestleMania. Don't you bloody forget it.
You know what that means? Right? That's the main event both nights of Mania 41. Just to draw with Miz.
No, do you know what's going to happen? Punk's going to get the main event a Saturday, and then he's going to be pissy about it and leave again because it wasn't the true main event of WrestleMania. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. He's going to be angry about it.
I sense a bit forming where it's just going to be like, we have a countdown clock that how long before Punk leaves again.
I'm waiting for him to be bitter about something. Like, surely someone's annoying him. Like, Kevin Owens must have pissed him.
Nah, I think, right now, I think it's just the fans that are annoying him, especially when he went to NXT. And every top comment on every post about that on any form of social media I saw was, he a fan, 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 he a fan.
I mean, all I'm saying is, all I've seen of my feed in terms of Punk posted pictures since he's been back is pictures with young NXT women's division wrestlers. I'm not saying anything, but that's all I've seen.
I think it's probably I'm just like, it's probably just the girls who go up to him to take pictures, which is fine, but God, if it's not funny.
Oh, it's so funny. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm obviously taking the piss, Phil, so don't come for me, alright?
Yeah.
And Phil, can I honestly just say, I think you're a hero because of it.
Yeah,
Your
he's
wife
wearing
is
the
a
merch.
lady.
He's wearing the merch.
But it's kind of sarcastic because it's the AEW merch. It was the one I got.
I have that. It needs to be cleaned. Yeah. Okay.
I've lost my bloody AEW snapback. But anyways, again, derailed.
Go.
So let's get back to it. So,
Curve, what
so
do you
good.
think of the Miz Braun Strowman promo backstage?
I think we all think the same. It was.
Yeah.
I forgot about
It's the meh. Let's go.
It was a nothing seg. Anyways, next we had a nothing match. We had Zoe Stark versus Natalya. So Natalya still coasting off the Brett pop. Love to see it.
Okay, let me just say, Pure Fusion Collective.
Now say it with me.
Stay with me. They dropped the wrong hair from the ceiling.
Jesus. Okay, so Zoe Stark and Natalya was a boring nothing match. That, it was your standard. Natalya's back, so she's gonna get the Brett rub from Canada last week. Everyone thought it was Brett when the guitar hit, like normal when Natalya comes out.
Yeah.
Natalya's great. Like, she's really talented.
She's great, but we're just awful people.
Yeah, no. Well, he is. Brody is.
She's a great wrestler. But look, if there's anything to which genuinely has deterred me from watching wrestling through like the main 2010s, it's the fact that you have a great wrestler here with great technical ability with absolutely no character but tits.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm not going to let this be derailed as well, because it was nothing. So let's move on swiftly. It was fine, alright? Natty won because Brett...
I like Zoe Stark, but she hasn't really done anything of note since, I want to say, the Becky and fucking Trish feud?
Yeah.
And even then,
really
she was... Yeah. It should have ended with her beating Trish, and it didn't happen. So.
Didn't Trish say she was going to be competing this year at some point?
I think
so, but it hasn't
I think she's hinted at it. But anyways, Trish Stratus aside, Zoe's great, the Z360's great, I think Sonya's fun, and Shayna's great. This should be a killer faction, but it's not. And WWE are treating it like that, because Michael Cole, when he was on commentary, used to take the piss out of the name ceremonially, all the time. But anyways, we'll move on from that, because again, it was nothing. Next, we have the Jey Uso and Braun Breaker in ring tag, which was so good after all the yeet bollocks he did. That was whatever. So my first few notes are, he did the yeet bollocks. Isn't that fun? Yeet. So pretty much. But then the dogs were barking for the boy Braun Breaker. He comes out. There was bark in the crowd. Everyone was buzzing. If Booker T was there, he probably would have said some random nonsense that were ad-libs.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
Oh, buddy.
Could we just say, for purposes, we love Booker T. We love his bizarre commentary. Keep going, buddy. We love you. I have your action figure. My sister keeps stealing it from me, but yes.
His TNA commentary was sublime. With Kevin Nash, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. He commentated on him beating the shit out of people in the ring. So good.
I love the fact that Booker T's very existence is the cause for literally a one night only of Raw of all the wrestlers harassing Taker into doing a spinner Rooney.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Okay, back to Braun Breaker.
Back to it. So in terms of this egg, I thought Braun, you have to be really specific. There's too many. This would never happen. Redacted around. All right. But anyways, so Braun Breaker came out. Everyone was loving him because he's a beast. Look at him. He's fantastic. He's killed it ever since he came up to the main roster. Everything Braun says just feels weighted. He hit Jay about being nothing without the bloodline or his family. He's been floundering. He's been here for 13, 14 years and hasn't won a singles title. Braun's been here for a couple of months and he's got the IC belt and he's killing it. And he was like, I didn't even need my name to do that. I didn't need my family name, which, you know, it's a good point. Makes sense. And then Jay, like, actually came alive and started speaking and spitting some facts here. Like, Jay, when Braun came out, was fantastic. Like, before that, it was the yeet bollocks, but he, like, got serious. He took off the glasses. He laid it down. Jay fired back without that stuff, without the yeet stuff. It hit a lot more. Like, it felt like a human and not a talking advertisement who was trying to sell you a shirt, you know? But basically ended him with the one important line where he was like, I'm going to walk you like a dog and I'm going to finish you quicker than your NFL career, which was fantastic. Jay laid him out. He laid him out. And then he hit, I think it was this side where he hit him with the spear, because Braun went to hit him with the spear and Jay caught him.
Oh, yes. No, Jay caught him, yes.
Yeah. And then later on, Revenge of the Dog. Beware of the dog. In your heads.
Yeah.
But anyways, go on.
Yeah, speaking of NFL careers and spears, apparently I didn't know this, there's like a college football game came out, and they would like only have a certain number of college football players in. Braun's cousin, Scott Steiner's kid, got in, and everyone was just made a big thing about how Scott Steiner's kid get in, but Goldberg's son didn't get in.
Wait, is Goldberg's son
never
an NFL player?
Yeah. Do you remember when he...
What?
Yeah. Gageberg. Yeah.
Is Shane's son in it, out of curiosity?
How old's what?
How old is Gageberg?
Well, I assume it's college football. He'd be around 1920 now, because he was like 16 when during the Goldberg Bobby Lashley feud. God, doesn't that make you feel old?
That does, yeah. Anyway, sorry, Merle, you were saying something before
I was simply just asking, is Shane's son in the game by any chance? Just out of curiosity.
He's also still in college football, as far as I know. Now, I'll look that up later, but as far as I know, yeah.
Perfect.
Foosball.
So what did you guys think of Breaker versus Yeet Man? What do we think?
I have not been super into this feud so far, even though I really like Jay when he's not doing the yeet bollocks. But I am invested now, if for no other reason than I want to see who sells the spear better. And like, if you're gonna do generational feuds, at least acknowledge it and play into it.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Next up, Jeff.
No, wait, you got Moroney. Moroney's got off his thoughts. We can't leave him out this time again.
Apologies, boys. I was making sure everyone had said their piece before I derail this again. I actually really enjoyed this promo. I think it regardless of your opinion of the yeet bollocks, I think having the yeet bollocks towards the start helps kind of steadily build the promo, if that makes sense, kind of like you would a match. I thought both the Lance deliveries when cutting the promo was brilliant. I thought both their reactions when they were getting the pipe bombs dropped on them were phenomenal, especially Braun's or Breaker's. I see what you mean now. When he got told, like, you know, I'll end your career shorter than your NFL career. I thought it was great. I don't know if this is going to be the start of a one match and done feud, or if this is going to be a feud that has a couple matches, to say the least. But I could really see it being one of those things where kind of similar to his NXT run, and Breaker drops the belt and picks the belt back up very quickly and runs for a significant amount of time with it. I think it would help escalate the feud as well. The fact that, you know, one man would each have a say in it, and I think it would benefit both their careers as well as make the promos a lot more interesting over time if done correctly. But considering it's the very start of everything, and considering what went on later on in the night, I thought both men excelled here.
I think the only thing that might cut the feud short is if they do the Bloodline Civil War stuff and want to drag Jay back
Yeah, that's what
over for that. That's like the only thing, which is, I think, a real shame if it happens. Like, I want to see the Bloodline Civil War in War Games. Everyone does. But I've been really enjoying Breaker and Jey Uso. Like, I get it, he's the Yeet Man, but he's also, like, he's Jey Uso. He was the heart of, like, the Fed during the pandemic when he was going up against Roman and all the trauma and the abuse and kind of submitting to that and then breaking free of it again, you know? So I would really love him to continue on, but I think Bloodline allegiances might draw him back over to SmackDown. So, you know. But
I think they're going to draw that out for quite a bit, to be honest with you. If I know Roman, his storytelling is he's not going to give it all to you in one bit. He's going to give you a crumb. He's going to have you go, can I have some more? And then you'll be like, yes, in about half a year's time when I show up again. But like at the same time, it does raise an interesting question because correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of any large enough factions existing in the Fed right now to which they could pull off a War Games with. So, and just to derail it a little bit, interestingly, who do you, like, if they're not going to go with the Bloodline Civil War bit, who do you actually, like, anticipate showing up being in that match?
I don't know who you do. Like, Wyatt Six versus someone is the only one I think kind of fits it in terms of the amount of members.
Yeah.
Like, you could do... Sorry, what?
No, I agree. But there has been new ruminations that make me think it might be 5-on-5. If for no other reason than to build up to the Netflix debut. Because we have gotten more word on someone who hasn't shown up anywhere in a while. Hikuleo.
Tala. Yeah, Tala Tonga, apparently rumored.
Yeah, so my initial thought way back when Tangaloa came in, because I just thought it would be Tama Tonga. But my initial thought when I saw that was, oh yeah, War Games is going to be OG Bloodline, so Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, and possibly Jacob against Rock, Solo, and God.
Yeah.
Which, like, you could very easily do a great monster versus monster feud between Jacob and Hikuleo, especially because no one wants to boo Jacob because he's so good.
True. I don't know will they flip him, though. I think if we're doing 5-on-5, I think it'll be like OG Bloodline with Cody, probably, versus, like, what is it, Solo, Jacob, Tama, Tonga, Tala. That's really... They're not doing any favors to themselves.
I think Jacob debuting a Bad Blood.
Yeah?
I would think so, yeah.
Help the new Bloodline. Bloodline Wolfpack. Yeah, that's what I call it. Bloodline Wolfpack. Help them get the dub over Cody and Roman. Who do you pin, though? If that's happening.
I think... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Cody, like?
Maybe. Like
I don't think you can pin Roman straight away.
I think we're gonna. I was gonna initially say this for next week, but I think Cody and Roman are winning. I think this is where we see Jacob take his first pin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Roman pins him because I don't see Cody pin. Yeah.
I think shenanigans are happening.
I can easily see that.
I reckon shenanigans. Yeah. Overbooking probably, but anyways, again, sidetracked yet again. But I think we can drag it back. So again, just to recap, Braun and Jay. I think Braun and Jay. I think we're all having a load of fun with it, and it'll be a fun match, and it'll be a good crack. So next we had backstage segment with the Power Buff Girls and Damage Control. I saw that from Luke. Thank you, you gem. But yeah, so basically it was just a little spat that they had, and then they announced Io versus Bianca for later on in the show. Whatever. I love Damage Control. Love the Power Buff Girls. Great stuff. Please call them that. They need a name. I need them to have a name because they've been tag champions twice and they don't have a name, and I hate it. But anyways, had that. Then we had the New Day versus Judgment Day. Day versus Day. Whose day will it be? Again, Wade Barrett. Fantastic. Great stuff. Great analysis. Yeah, this was really fun. It was basically just a vehicle to bring on the story between the split of Kofi and I was going to call it Austin Creed. Kofi and Woods. Really fun. A lot of interference and stuff like that. So basically, it breaks down. JD get their backup to come in and try and help them. Then the LWO comes down to fight them off, and Kofi's happy about it. Woods isn't happy about it. Kofi goes out to clear the outside, distracting the ref for whatever reason. The ref decided to go out there. He wasn't the legal man, while Woods had the Judgment Day pinned, and they could have won, but they didn't. And then basically JD takes the W. And then I'll just add in the little backstage after that before we go and get your guys' thoughts. So backstage, yeah, Woods losing it because Kofi didn't tell him the plan with the LWO. He didn't be like, oh, we're going to have him back up. And also Woods had earlier asked Damian Priest and Rhea to stay out of their business because he wanted to win on their own. He wanted to prove that they were good, they were a solid team, and they could still win the titles. So really fun. Woods losing it was strange just because he's always been such a calm guy. The only other time I think he was freaked out was like the Wyatt feud. Back when he was really scared of Bray, which was great again. But like, I think it's really good. I don't know if they're going to split or anything, but I'm really loving the story. Guys, what do you think?
No, Seán, I have a bit to ruminate on. Would you like to give your thoughts?
Okay. Personally, I think it's long overdue to the point where the split of the New Day. Honestly, at this point, should never happen. Or if you're going to do it, you should have done it a long time ago to capitalize on the eyes that were happening. But I think it's a bit past its point. I think it's a bit pointless in that instance. I think the tag division don't have enough teams to, keep matches and in circulation to ensure that everyone's having, new opponents, etc., etc. With that, the match was fine. The story was fine. I think it's very out of character for Woods, like Jeff said. But, it is what it is. Maybe it's something that, they can build to a bigger feud with the Judgment Day once they're finished with their issues with Damian and Rhea. But I'm not too sure. At the moment, it seems very, I don't know. To me, it seems pointless. I think it's just all being executed incorrectly. But yeah, that's essentially it.
I just like to, yeah, I completely get where you're coming from. I just like to add in as well. I think they're doing well. I get it's kind of a black.
Oh, you got it there for a second.
Redacted Jones kind of situation.
What are you talking about? It's always been a two-man team in this feud. There was no third man. The only Odyssey they've been on is the Odyssey of their friendship destroying.
I thought you were going to say the only Odyssey they've been on is when they played Mario Odyssey.
When they watched Odyssey in 2001.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
What do you think of the story?
Like, I think the story itself is not great, but I am very interested to see if Xavier turns heel, because I cannot remember the last time I saw him as a serious heel, because even when the New Day were heel initially, he was always the one doing the really annoying things like the trombone.
I love it.
Yeah.
You leave whatever that trombone's name was alone.
I loved it. I loved it, but like, it's annoying as in he was meant to annoy the opponents with it.
Hey, he was a great heel when he put the New Day together. What do you mean? Yeah. The fans loved it. They loved it, Dave.
They loved it.
It was
they always
best
loved
part of the Dudley's return.
Hey, no. The best part of the Dudley's return was when Enzo Amore and Big Cass came out, and Enzo was like, fall back like your hairline. That was great. That was fantastic. It's one of my favorite things he's ever done.
Yeah, I will just gonna take this opportunity, since you mentioned the Dudleys, I will occasionally bring up stories of my encounters with wrestlers. I have had precisely one interaction with Bully Ray. It was over Twitter because
Oh yeah.
a long time ago, people on Twitter might remember the account Bad Brian Takes, which is just like a guy who would screenshot like really shitty takes and send them on, like
I thought it was
predecessor
gonna be
to
about
Wrestle
Brian.
Cringe. Yeah, but
That's right.
there was a now former friend of mine was asking on another server that I'm in, oh, where's a good wrestling school to try? And like I just replied very curtly, I would say 3D Academy, but fuck Bully Ray. I didn't tag him. Didn't do nothing. He replied not 2 minutes later. And precisely everyone else in the comment section just came together to shit on him for vanity searching himself.
That's so good.
Yeah.
He's a legend. He deserves his respect.
Yeah, but I think we're going to aim to have a better podcast than his one. Yeah, alright. But yeah, Xavier? I think like Xavier is a very good talent. I am intrigued to see where this goes. Really want this fucking feud to end.
But David, it's only just moving.
Yeah, 1 second. You guys keep on there. I'll be back in a sec. I deal with it real quick. Yeah?
Yeah, so again, just go over those bits.
Alright.
Well, David has some technical difficulties. Yeah, I think they've done a really good job at kind of pivoting. But I get what you mean, Sean, just in terms of like it's a bit out of character. I think Woods is playing it really well, but it's a bit missing because they were supposed to have another guy there, and now they don't.
Yeah, Big E.
Yeah, Big E.
Big D, Drew McIntyre, baby, let's go.
Big Odyssey.
The new
Jesus Christ. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to move on to the main event, and I have to double check that. Shout out to Bleacher Report for having a breakdown, so I have to double check my notes. So we had Monster versus Monster. We had Bronson versus Braun in a battle of you need to change your names. It's getting ridiculous. So we had Bronson. So I've just noted down some crazy, really fun spots. So this wasn't really a match because they broke the rope within a minute. So it wasn't a match. It was just kind of a brawl, a monster's brawl, if you will. And it was great. It was really, really great. So Bronson ran into the turnbuckle and somehow snapped the top rope. I don't know how it happened, but it was great. I loved it. It was fun. Yeah, fact about it, yeah. And then Strowman hit a great choke slam. Wade again, just to shout out my boy for one final time on Raw. Meat planets are combining on Raw for our pleasure. What a boy. What a bloody boy Wade Barrett is. I love the meat planets. It's great. And then Bronson lawn darted a bloody human at Braun Strowman, and it was great. He just chucked a lad from the front row. Definitely wasn't a plant, ladies and gentlemen. That was a shoot human that he threw at him. Alright?
He shot it at him.
Yeah, it was a shoot, brother.
Yeah. Much love, HH.
Yeah, XX. So we had, and then Strowman smashed him through the timekeeper barriers, which was great.
It's always a great spot.
And Reed walked away. Strowman marched towards him. Strowman took him down. They brawled towards the back. They were just beating the absolute shit out of each other, essentially. Like, this was just them destroying each other. And I think at the end of it again, Bronson got the upper hand at the end of the match, and walked away after hitting a like split second like standing tsunami. Like, he got just enough height to like drop through Strowman, and then got up, dusted himself off, and walked away. And then I think Adam Pearce might have come out and been like,
Adam Pearce slowly heading towards alcoholism.
It's Hangman-esque.
Let my hair.
It's relatable. I just love that. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to shoot one of you, David. Go ahead. What did you think of this match?
No, I love it. I love it when the big man hit to the other big man. I love those matches. I think they're very capable. Wish they changed their names, but however. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I think Bronson is on a big upward swing, and if he can continue this, I see a lot of great things for him in the future. Sean?
Big meaty men slapping me.
A tribute to Biggie. We miss you.
Can I just say though, like it is almost like immediately obvious what they're planning on doing. Like fucking, I can expect like other on a random episode of Raw or like one of those B-Tech pay-per-views, to which they're going to get two men and to continue their path of destruction. They're going to do the superplex off the top rope and the ring's going to collapse. Like that. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then they're just going to get back up and keep fighting, and Charles Robinson is just going to be there going, I thought we could just stop. I haven't recovered yet.
Yeah.
Poor little Dave. I'd just like to add there. Yeah.
Love little Mitch. Yeah, there you go.
But I'd just like to add, and this is stemming from me and Moroney. I think it was me and Sean discussing, it was me and a different friend discussing that Drew and Punk, and brought up the idea of 3 stages of hell, because I love 3 stages of hell. Oh, was it you? Oh, sorry, Moroney. I thought it was on someone else, man. But anyways, so credit to Moroney. But I adore the 3 stages of hell concept. I think it's so much fun. Like, the closest we got to it was that NXT match with Gargano and
Cole.
Champ. Was it Champ?
No, it was Cole.
Almas? Cole? Oh, it was Cole. Sorry, because they have that weird cage with the weapons on. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And if they want to put the 2 monsters in the 3 stages of hell match, that would be great. If they want to put anyone in 3 stages of hell match, I will buy the pay-per-view. I will subscribe to the network again. I will do whatever you want, Triple H. I promise. I will, because it's great. But anyways, second one.
I say put them in the steel cage match, do the superplex off the steel cage corner and have the entire thing explode.
Oh, just break? That's great. That's really good. Just the 4 sides collapse.
Yeah, the ring collapses, the 4 sides just fall off with it. You know, why not?
Brock Lesnar comes back and flips the ring with a tractor. You get it all going. Fantastic. This is good. It's good booking.
I was going to suggest maybe you do like Moxley and Omega, where one guy just like literally launches out of the cage.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they have the force to do it.
That's so good. But again, I just want to interject before we derail. Has everyone finished their thoughts on Bronson versus Braun in the Battle of the Changing Names? Are we all?
Yeah. I think we're good.
Fantastic. Right. So that was Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good stuff.
I enjoyed it.
Next we're gonna head towards Dynamite.
So Sean's gonna drop out of the conversation entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Just before we head to Dynamite, I'm gonna pour a drink. So David, you can either leave this in or you can cut it out, my friend.
No, I think we're alright. I'm just gonna make sure I have the match order right first.
Okay, so I sent it into the chat anyways. I'm just gonna turn off.
Yeah, I understand. I'm good. I have to go look after my sister. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay, I assume David's going to cut this out because he left, so I'll come back on. Ronnie, do you need help with the Dynamite rundown? Have you seen anything?
Jeff, if you paid me 50 quid, I couldn't tell you a single second of the fucking match that happened.
Okay, I'll write it down for you, okay? I'll just give you the it's in the chat if you want to look at it. But, so we had a boring 20-minute match with well, not boring, but we had a 20-minute match with Jericho. What?
I can expect that sometimes.
You're so funny. But anyways, so we started off with Jericho Cassidy in a 20-minute match that went too long. Then we had next match we had was Hook versus a jobber for a squash. I'm just running down for Moroney, by the way.
Yeah, it's fine.
What?
Hogan.
No, Hook.
The Incredible Hulk.
Italian
Hook.
fucking Tom Holland.
Oh, Hulk.
Has his son. Hook.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Not Hulk.
Hook. No, not Hulk. Hook. For fuck's sake, it's Hook, bro. Okay, right.
Okay.
Pronounce it now then next time.
All right. So I think we're about ready to
next week,
continue. All right. I think we're about ready to continue. Take it away. And we're back. Anyway, Jeff.
So we're gonna move on to AEW Dynamite for this week. Yeah.
I think ignore the lower third.
This is my
one of
contribution.
Michael's at the belt. Yeah, well, maybe next week watch the show, and then you can have an opinion.
I've been
so we
busy.
AEW.
I'm watching where real wrestling's at.
Oh, you're trying to get us cancelled.
Anyways.
Okay.
We'll put tribalism behind us. We had AEW Dynamite. So I was really excited for AEW Dynamite, and then they kicked it off with Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho, and I was very much less excited for Dynamite.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was a fine match. There's some nice stuff. There was a nice reversal of Hurricane Rana into the walls by Jericho. There was nearly a botch of a tilt over a power slam, but Jericho saved it pretty well. Jericho did the camera gimmick because that's the thing he does. It's whatever. And I just noted when he hit the lion salt that every time he hits it, I feel like he gets closer to death because it's getting less and less the amount he's clearing that fucking ring map.
I get flashbacks to Hayabusa every time he does it.
Yeah,
that's why people don't want him to do it anymore.
Exactly, because he can barely do it. Then we had a Tope Suicida caught and turned into a wheelbarrow into the railing by Jericho, which was nice. Backtrap again by Jericho to the timekeeper's table. And at this point, I mentioned this is a half marathon that should have been a sprint because it was way too long. It was like 20 minutes, and we didn't need that. Anyways, another bit of stuff. There was a bit of miscommunication from Jericho because he got Big Bill out and Brian Keith. He got the two boys out to throw him a roll of quarters. Miscommunication. Cassidy caught it, hit the orange punch with the quarters, pinned Jericho. Moroney hasn't seen this. So, David, any thoughts on Jericho versus Orange Cassidy?
I have one thought.
Mm-hmm.
I think the bookie should open an option to, place a bet on who they think the next wrestler is going to be that dies in the actual ring. Because I'm placing a fucking mortgage on Jericho.
Okay, you know what? For someone who hasn't seen the show, fantastic. Yeah, that's great. So, anyways, David, actual thoughts on the match.
I am a big fan of most of the men involved. I'm still a fan of Jericho. I think the gimmick has slowly wormed its way back into my heart, but God, he should not be doing 20-minute matches anymore. He's not able.
Yeah, he can still hit everything, but I just don't think he should be taking up 20 minutes and then the women get 3.
Yeah.
I just don't. If you can cut off time for the women, you can cut it off Jericho. It's not like he's going to lose out. He's already a millionaire,
Yeah, it's just he is a rating strong, but that power's starting to wane. And they're repeating a feud from 5 years ago where Jericho wasn't even pinned.
Yeah, the Mimosa match about a jacket. It's a bit naff. And Cassidy has evolved as a wrestler ever since the Moxley feud. Before that, his whole run there, but the Moxley feud specifically on that, he's actually become a good wrestler who can do character work and is good at it. So it's a shame to see him dragged back into the Jericho stuff,
Yeah, it's very clear they just have nothing for either man right now. And as I'll briefly mention Collision, the conglomeration are great. When they're not involved in this bullshit, they are great.
Yeah, I'll leave you to take the wheel when we get to Collision because I was working all day and didn't get a chance to catch it this morning. But I'll leave you take the wheel with it.
I like this, but do the match at Grand Slam and move on. Move on.
Yeah. And if you have to do it at Grand Slam Collision or whatever. Maybe don't do it on Dynamite. Maybe leave Dynamite for the other stuff. But anyways, then we had I'm calling them Death Jitsu because it's cool and they should be called Death Jitsu. So that is, for anyone unaware, Mox, Pac, Claudio, and Marina Shafir. The problem, Marina Shafir. So they had a backstage segment, which was great because it was Pac yelling at Yuta to come back to work and defend the titles. Claudio saying he was not mad and just disappointed, like an angry dad, which was great. He was like, maybe I need to teach you another lesson. It was so good. I love how they're twisting all this to be like this whole like, oh, you need to mature into a man and grow up and be the man we've taught you to be, when they tried to murder Bryan Danielson on pay-per-view. So, but it was a great thing.
Like, I am a big fan of this. Just everything this new version of the BCC has done. I love how just, like, casually psychopathic everyone is. Like, you could, like, it gets to a point where you sort of forget how violent they are, and then they just hit you with it. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
I saw you had in your notes you want to talk to about Wheeler Yuta as well. Like, I feel personally in the last few weeks since this has happened, he's really been showing off how much he has progressed since he got to AEW.
No, 100%. We'll get into that a bit. I just want to get Sean's take, because Sean's obviously, he's not seen Dynamite this week, but you have seen, I assume you've seen the stuff at All Out where they tried to kill Bryan with a plastic bag over his head. Have you?
Yeah. Look, with regards to your comment of, like, trying to be almightier than there, simple sign of life, do as I say, not as I do. I think that in the world of professional wrestling, every now and again, you've got to try and attempt to kill a man, just to get. It might be in your best interests,
Yeah.
But as long as it's kayfabe, because some people they don't understand that, and I think most people will forgive you.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Look at Taker's career, for example. The amount of people he's buried.
True. Look at Triple H's. But anyways, like.
But then when
like,
Reigns
essentially
the fucking once, like, it follows him around.
Never hear him
True,
mention.
but like, Sean, I know, right? You never do. But Sean, what did you like actually legitimately? What do you think about the whole like plastic bag situation and stuff? Do you think, like, because a lot of people thought it was a bit too far, a lot of people thought, and again with Hangman Swerve, but what did you think about that, like the Bryan stuff?
I think so. Watching the clip, it reminded me immediately of Bryan's main roster debut with the Nexus and the Fed, and you know what, he had it coming.
Yeah, Nigel actually brought that up in his promo last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed it. What did he say?
He's like, I watched the breath leave his body, and I thought about him choking out Justin Roberts with a necktie. Yeah, Nigel's great. We'll mention that. We'll mention that later. But yeah, Nigel, I'm very much looking forward to their match next week, even if it was very convoluted to get to the setup. But yeah,
I must. I'm gonna go back on Honor Club and maybe watch like their original series and stuff like that. But anyways, before we move on from the Death Jitsus, sorry, go on, David.
I'm just gonna say, on AEW's YouTube channel now, they have uploaded a 12-hour-long compilation of Nigel McGuinness as Ring of Honor champion.
Oh, brilliant! I might just stick that on. I just waste a day.
Do it.
But just before we move on from the but just before we move on from the Death Jitsu stuff, just about Yuta, he had the backstage segment. He is so bloody good. He's just killing it right now. Like the whole, like he could be like in any other universe. You'd look at it and you'd be like, oh, like he's just like not putting effort into the promo or whatever. But that's the point. Like his brain is so far away from what he's actually doing. He's chatting Renee. He's like, yeah, Al Scoops, the worst backstage interviewer in wrestling. But anyways, like we were he was sitting back with him. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll defend those titles at Wrestle Dream next week." And he was like, "Oh no, it's Grand Slam." He's like, oh, "Yeah, my head's not here, you know." And then someone comes up and is like, "Hey, Mr. Yudi, you left your title back in the locker room." And it's like, oh, he's so good. He's brilliant. I love the boy. He's great.
Yeah, he's very understated, which is hard to do, especially in wrestling. It's hard to do it very well, but I think he's done a great job of it so far. All right, and
smashing it out of the park.
Well, Sean's not here to derail us any. Oh, speak of the devil, he appears.
Yeah, he's back with a plank of wood.
Apologies, boys. I just got a mirror so I could appreciate myself whilst we talk about this.
Okay, continue. Okay. Anyways, brilliant. So next we had the squash match of Hook and JD Inc., the most aptly named wrestler ever, because the boy was covered in it. He was proper inked up. So we had Roddy on commentary for this because Roddy and Hook are fighting over the FTW title, which hopefully will be retired at Grand Slam.
Why?
Yeah,
I like Roddy.
I love Roddy. Love Hook too. They're both great. They should be doing more. But yeah, Roddy yelled over the introduction and didn't give a damn about it. It wasn't Roberts this week, was it? What's her name? I can't think of her name. Sugar, I can't think of her name. Hold on, will you give it a Google and I'll just keep going with the thing. So I want to share. Because I like perfect. So I said at the start, I assumed this was Squash Jones. It was a Squash Jones. Hook just slapped him around. The JD dude is Ink by David, Ink by Nature. He was absolutely covered. We had a nice half-hatch suplex followed up by an arm wringer, Northern Lights, and a belly-to-belly from Hook, all looking beautiful because he just can suplex anyone and make it look great because he's good at it. Like, is it judo or jiu-jitsu for Hook?
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu, that's it, yeah. Because Taz always puts it over great. Taz, again, putting it over great here. Then the crossface lariats, which I love. I know a lot of people are iffy on them. I think they're fun. Same way I like the arm trap elbows from the BCC. I think they're both fun. Just a lot of fun stuff. And then a quick tap with the Red Rumber, the Kalahajame, the Tasmission, or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of names. But yeah, quick, nice little squash leading into hopefully the last match for the FTW title. Hopefully, because Hook deserves more, and so does Roddy.
Yeah, it's Dasha Gonzalez. Is the ring answer.
Well, he knew it. Yeah, because she was it Dasha Fuentes in WWE?
Yes, NXT.
She was. Yeah. Dasha Gonzalez. Yeah, I like her. I think she's great. She's fun. She's no Justin Roberts, and I have a connection to Justin Roberts because like he was the announcer for most of my like childhood wrestling and stuff like that. Like,
oh yeah.
But yeah, Dasha was great.
Yeah, like I like Hook. I do want him to show more outside of a squash match because, like, the stuff he was doing at the start of the year with Joe and Shibata, I love that. I hope when Joe comes back, they continue that.
Yeah, because he's off for a little bit longer with Twisted Metal, right?
Yes. Yeah, filming should not be done until, like, I think the end of next month, maybe the start of December.
Yeah, I must actually watch that because it's is it Will Arnett?
Yes, who voices
him, the guy who voiced Bojack.
Oh yeah, actually,
not Bojack.
Since we're mentioning Samoa Joe and outside stuff, I don't know how familiar you two are with the video game series Yakuza, Like a Dragon.
I've never played it, but I've seen it. Yeah.
Isn't that like an Japanese version of the Mob?
Yes. Yeah, they have a history of including wrestlers in games. So I think it was 5 or 6. They had like all of the modern New Japan guys,
like Suzuki and Omega, right? Where's Omega?
Omega was in the Samurai spinoff, like a Dragon. Samoa Joe is going to be in the next one, which is a pirate themed one set in Hawaii.
Oh yes, I love that Pirate Joe. Let's go.
Yes, Pirate King Joe.
Actually, I might eventually cave and play the Yakuza stuff because my mate's been at me for ages today, and I sent him. Yeah, I sent him the Instagram post to Joe, and I was like, Joe and Yakuza, and he was like, play the fucking game. I've been yelling at you to play it for the last year, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll play Yakuza. But yeah, I'll get on to it. But yeah, that's fun. Jody feels it'll be fun.
Next.
It's good for him. Yeah, perfect. So then we had, after the Hook and JD squash match, we had Private Party backstage. They mentioned that they wanted the trios title open challenge that Jitsu put out in the pro earlier. I don't know who they were gonna get as their third though.
Commander, I would assume, because he's been teaming with them.
Oh yes, sorry. Jesus, yeah, sure. Later on, Commander showed up and got showed out. But yeah, they were. It'll be a good match if that's what eventually goes on. I think there's rumblings of maybe a certain Hurt Syndicate showing up at Grand Slam, so maybe that could be the trios match, which would be fun. MVP, Lashley, and Shelton. I think it'd be great. Maybe we can eventually get Ricochet joining them because that's who MVP wanted at the start. I think that'd be great for Rick. Yeah. Oh, it'd be so good. The ass, Bobby. The ass. Yes. Everybody managed Lashley. It was just all about the ass. I expect it. It's great.
Yeah, I'm not going to stand up and do it, but you can imagine. You can picture it.
We're not going to get to it.
Okay, next.
So lovely that there was a patriarchy backstage segment where Christian Cage was being brilliant in Christian Cage, and he was like, I've decided my son Nick Wayne is going to win a singles belt because I'm going to win the singles belt and we can be champions as father and son. And then a rogue Kip Sabian appeared, and the first thing Christian said was, turn that camera off, because he didn't want him to get screen time. And then he was like, you know what, I don't even care if your dad's dead. Get away from me. Just leave us alone.
Yeah, Christian is just like, he's doing the best work of his career. I'm like, I know a lot of people are not very high on him having like that essentially a Money in the Bank style title shot, but like I think he if he does win the title, I will not complain. I think he's definitely earned that role.
Oh, really? You think he's going to be the one to take it from Danielson? Or
No, I think he's going to take it from Darby immediately after he wins it.
And his uncle died. That's good, actually. That's really good. Sean, just before we go on, have you caught any of Christian's AEW, Your Dad's Dead LMAO stuff? What do you think about Christian?
I have. I've caught a couple of it. Like, ironically, my favorite segment hasn't been to do with Your Dad's Dead fucking segments. It's more so when he's holding the TNT title and he's kind of just boasting along backstage. And his daughter, if I'm not mistaken, was there and touches the fucking title. And he asks for her to be escorted out of the arena for daring to touch the title.
Can I add context to that? Can I add context to that?
Shoot.
He says, did you win this title? At the time, he had not won the title. Luchasaurus had won the title.
That's Hill Switch to you?
Yeah.
Excuse me? But yeah, so you like the Christian stuff you've seen, Sean?
Christian's great.
I think
He's got a lot to give, clearly.
Oh yeah, he's killing it. And I love that he's been able to do it. And it's like, I know he had the TNA stuff. I was never a big TNA guy. I must go back and watch like prime TNA years. I was never a big TNA guy. But like,
it's fucking unreal.
Throwing up
but like,
Steve.
I know he's had that run in TNA, but I feel like this is, for me as a viewer, it's the first time I've seen him be like, oh my god, like he can like, obviously the Orton feud in WWE, but in terms of a proper run, this is the first run I've seen where I'm like, he's separate from Edge and he's bloody fantastic. You know, like obviously he had the Orton feud and stuff like that in WWE, but like, this is great. This is generational stuff he's doing.
He's doing well. Yeah, I'm just going to say, we love the jokes, even if they can get a bit overbearing for people. When we get to the video version, when I get to like finishing editing this, I'm going to just add in the video I took of his entrance at All In last year, where as soon as he showed up, I just said, your dad is dead. Lol.
It's so good. Oh, it's so good.
I was very drunk. Yeah, go on before I go into anxiety.
You're good, brother. You're good. So then we had Serena Deeb, the Professor, and the Glamour Mariah May versus Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki. I saw a lot of people down on the match, and I get why. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was my first, like, I think Yuka was around at the start of AEW, but it was my first kind of introduction recently to her. And Queen Aminata's been doing some great stuff. Serena Deeb is always fantastic to watch because she's so good. And Mariah is great. I just love her. I think she's great. The gimmick's great. Yeah. What she's doing is great. David, what?
Yeah, I'm just going to, again, make a brief reference to Collision. I love the interplay between her and Nigel. She blew him a kiss during her match, and Nigel acted like he was about to faint.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that as well. During the was it All In?
Yes.
Yeah, it was All In. Everyone was like, when Mariah kissed him earlier in the night, they're like, "Well, that's revived Nigel McGuinness's career." So because he came
lo
out
and behold,
it did.
She not only
God said, "Let it be good."
She not only revived Nigel McGuinness's career, she indirectly revived Oasis from the dead.
True. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Very. So I'll just give a quick rundown of the match. I know it was short. I get people are angry. Book women better. We've all been saying it since AEW started. Shut up! All right. Shut up.
What are we gonna do?
We get it.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, go on.
Like, I am familiar with Yuka's home promotion, TJPW. She does great work.
Right.
Obviously, she's had a lot of extenuating circumstances. Not only still living in Japan, she's also been injured for a long while.
Oh, right. Sure.
Yeah, and I think she's doing very well for what little time she's been given so far since she got back.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me of Riho just in terms of her stature, I think. And not anything other than stature, I think. But like for someone who's not as in touch with Japanese wrestling as I'd like to be, and it's something that I'm going to kind of try and change. Like I know the few promotions, I've watched matches, I've watched a few events and stuff, but I'm not like as much fingers in the pie situation. But Yuka's great. I really loved her in this, and Aminata as well. So the first thing I wrote about the match was Queen Aminata has the look and in-ring stuff on block because she's great. I'd like to mention as well, before the match started, Taz, and this is quoting Taz on commentary, the music's insane, bro. Yeah. And then I put as a little thing, Taz can't handle it. Head fried Jones over here. The man loves her theme. The man loves Yuka Sakazaki's theme. He can't get over it. It's the new Ruby Soho.
Yeah, there's a lot. My favorite running gag on commentary for as long as AEW's been around has just been Taz singing songs, whether it was that, whether it was Ruby Soho, or whether it was Jungle Boy.
Oh yeah, that's so good because he's so tone deaf. I love Taz.
Oh, we love Taz.
Before he puts me in the Taz mission, he's great. So yeah, just in terms of the match. I love the start of it, a nice little technician thing, you know, your little roll-ups, your little counters, all that kind of general play by numbers stuff in terms of technician stuff at the start. That was between Deeb and Yuka. Then we had a nice dragon screw in the ropes from Deeb to Aminata. It looked really sick. She knows how to just make shit look way more impactful. Like, she's so subtly good at wrestling. Like, it's crazy. Then we had Deeb tying up Aminata in like who does it? Who's the Brit Rest guy who does it currently? Like, obviously it goes back, but like tied her up in a ball basically, and penalty kicked her. But then, I don't think who it was. It was someone on NXT UK. Oh, I know who it was. It was Cancel Jones, the man who used the umbrella, I believe. I'll just put it like that. Leave it there.
Yeah, I won't get into that, but there's another. Yeah.
Gentleman with an umbrella. But anyways, it was a cool move. I love those little technical stuff, especially the Brit Rest stuff. I think it's really fun. I must go back over like OG World of Sport and actually like see that stuff and the evolution of it. That's another thing I want to get into. Then we had, after that, we had Snap Roll and Neckbreaker from Deeb, which is great. A nice triplet of German from 3 of the girls in the match. Fantastic, just looked really fun. They had a hammerlock merry-go-round from Yuka, which was so good.
Yeah,
it was so much
she
fun.
loves that. Yeah. For those of you who might not understand what her gimmick is that she is a magical girl, which is an anime thing. Yeah,
makes sense. I love that. That's fun.
Even her ring name is a reference to a manga from decades ago.
Oh, is it? Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But I had a lot of fun with this match, even if it was short. I love all 4 of the women involved. I think the match that Yuka and Mariah are going to have a Grand Slam will be good, even if the winner is not in doubt.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I just want to mention, obviously, at the end of the match, there was a couple of splashes to the outside. They were nice. Then Mariah with the belt took out, I think it was Yuka and pinned Yuka. Was it Yuka?
Yeah, it was Yuka.
I think it was Yuka. Yeah, pinned Yuka and then started flogging her with the belt or whatever. And I get it. People are annoyed because it's a DQ. People are like, WWE and AEW, they're using DQs on TV and blah, blah. It's a fun match. It should have got longer, yes. Could have had an extra 10 minutes and cut Jericho. You could have, but they didn't, and it was fun. But yeah, I think their match next week, Grand Slam, is going to be fun, regardless of the amount of effort Tony put into promoting it, by beating it instead of just putting it on the bloody show, But yeah, it was good. Then we got a nice Mina Shirakawa promo where it's short and sweet, basically saying, Mariah, you want me back? I'll come back. So I assume she's going to come back next week after the match, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's
they give
the
time.
Wrestle Dream match, I would assume, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I think that'd be fun. So then, moving on to the Nigel McGinn... Sorry, they're technical difficulties. So we had the Nigel McGuinness promo next, which, again, itself had a bit of technical difficulties. Again, it's something that's plagued AEW from the start. You could give out about it, or you could just shut up and enjoy what they do.
I'll fucking give out about it, so.
Of course you will. Go on,
Boomer. Shut up, Boomer.
Give your piece, brother.
Here, all you fucking millennials looking for your alternatives to already great things just because you can't be happy with what was fucking there to begin with. These are just fucking fussy.
All right.
No, you.
So we've heard from Gramps. So then we had the Nigel promo, which I thought, as a person who is obviously familiar with the Nigel and Brian backstory, to an extent, I watched
Joseph Montesquieu.
There we go. Thank you for
Shout out
shouting
to
out.
my boys, a big egg. Yeah.
Great breakdown of the Nigel and Brian feud, which I need to go back and watch every match and everything like that. But I'm aware of it. I know what's going on. But for people who don't know, I think it was great. The Talking Head segment was great. We had Jerry Lynn. Why can't I remember the other 2 people who were there? Hold on. We had Brody as well. And we had, obviously, Briscoe discussing it as well, which was lovely because there were people who were kind of around the scene at that point. I saw people mention, in terms of breakdowns of the show, I think it was, again, Wrestless Podcast, because they do their kind of the day after reviews. They mentioned it would have been really nice if we had Generico and Punk and Steam talking about it. But obviously, they're in the Fed. It's not going to happen. But it would have been lovely. It would have been really nice. But the people we got was great. It was a breakdown of how important the feud was at the time, how important it was for Ring of Honor as a promotion, and just built again to the match next week, which I think is going to be really interesting to see how they kind of put it together and work. Because obviously they're not going to do what they did back in 2006, right?
Headbutt the post.
Oh, stop! So, David, what did you think about the promo and the difficulties before?
I think technical difficulties plague everything. It is a bit noticeable in AEW, but I think that's just carrying on Ring of Honor spirit, because for the longest time, every pay-per-view they had without fail would fuck up the audio or the video.
Yeah.
Since 2009 when they did their first one. And I am obviously, Brian is my favorite wrestler of all time. Nigel is right up there.
Sounds overrated.
Shut up. Alright, David, continue.
Yeah, like, I think even with the convoluted setup, they're doing very well. People say, oh, there's been no build. If you ever listened to Collision any time in the last year, you would have heard him bitching and complaining about Bryan at every available opportunity.
Yeah, I think in that vein of like there's been no build, I think there's been even an argument for too much build to it, because there was a point where like all in last year I was like, oh, we're getting Bryan and Nigel, I'm gonna see Bryan, and then obviously Bryan's injured. And I assume he was, because I watched the Chris Van Vliet interview with Nigel. They did, I think it was a couple of weeks back at this point, maybe a couple of months. But he did mention, he's been in the ring training for like, I think it was 18 months at that point. You know, so he'd been taking bumps for a while, and I assume maybe if Bryan was healthy, we would have gotten it last year, but they didn't do it. Or maybe Nigel just wasn't comfortable. Maybe he wanted a bit more time, which is understandable. He hasn't wrestled in years.
Yeah, I think this is it's a very personal feud. It means a lot of things to a lot of people. It means a lot to me. I think it is a good representation of what built AEW, essentially, this indie style that eventually WWE wanted. And eventually, even if they didn't want them to become main eventers, they did. They became big stars. Guys like Punk, guys like Bryan, even arguably Seth. All guys who got on Ring of Honor and who've become kings and gods. Go ahead, John.
I just said AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, Styles, 100%.
I think even with the clunky build, it is going to be phenomenal. I'm going to love it every moment of it. If they even tease the fucking ring post spot, I will leap out of my chair.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a given, but like I'd like to reiterate again. I think like
don't do it.
No. This is just in general.
Fucking do it. Don't be a pussy. What's the worst that can happen, eh? They're not going to take seriously.
Okay, before you mention someone I know you're going to mention, let's move on.
Fucking Jack Perry with that unprotected chair shot.
Oh, shut up! It was a gimmick chair.
Okay.
But anyways, I think a lot of recent talk about AEW has been it's lost the feeling and it's out of this and that, and like ever since Punk left, that's been the conversation. I think now, specifically since like All Out, I think that was their stamp on we are the alternative again. Like we're not keep be second fiddle. We're not playing as like obviously just for people listening. They're not the biggest wrestling company in the world. We all know that. Everyone understands they're second best because WWE is there. And WWE is great. But they're an alternative. Sorry, go on, Moroney.
They're not second best. New Japan Pro Wrestling is second best. Fucking know where you fucking stand.
Did you say New Japan Pro? When was the last time you watched a New Japan Pro Wrestling show, Moroney?
I have never watched a show in its entirety, but I've seen individual matches on many a basis, and I regret nothing.
You shouldn't. Okay, but yeah, I think...
Tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong, because AEW is the second biggest promotion in professional wrestling. Hands down, there's not an argument.
Yeah, but yeah.
And then there's a big gap, and then there's TNA. So, you know.
It's like
TNA's great.
It's like first, second, all the way down. That's what TNA is. Like your NXT stuff is doing fine, but to really just go in one way.
Yeah. Anyways, David, so yeah, I think they've had a real stamp on. We're the alternative, like Swervin, Hangman, obviously, Bryan and Moxley stuff. You know, like even Willow and Chris, which again I know it's over. I know it's not recent. Holy crap, that was so good. But yeah, they've really stamped. I think recently.
I think that was my favorite match from that show.
Really,
yeah.
Really. Understandable. I respect it.
Yeah, I loved Hangman and Swerve, but that really surprised me. I knew they were good. I thought they were going to have a great match, but
yeah,
good God.
I think it was a 3-way tie for me. It was Pac, Ospreay, Nightingale, Statlander, and Swerve Hangman. But I think Swerve Hangman took it for me just because it was insane. It's great. But anyways, getting back on track. Next we had Moxley and Death Jitsu in the ring, which was so much fun. Zay and Quen just jumping out of nowhere and attacking them. They said, get ready for the unexpected earlier on. It was unexpected. I didn't expect them to jump on the way to the ring. I think it was fun. Claudio hit the nastiest Irish curse backbreaker I've ever seen and then hit it again. It was gorgeous.
But people tend to just forget how strong Claudio is. Like, he is legitimately one of the strongest people in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, the pound for pound strongest guy in WWE when he was there. It wasn't just a moniker that Vince yelled down the earphones. It was true. The guy's crazy. And then Commander jumps in and nowhere, drop kicks Claudio, and then flew into an uppercut. Got absolutely taken out.
Die.
Oh, so good. Then I put in the notes, yes, Marina, kill Alex, maul him in all capitals, because Alex Abrahantes is fun to see get beaten up.
Oh yeah, that's his job. That is his job.
Look, he's on TV and I'm not. That tells you all you need to know about me and Alex Abrahantes. But he's really fun when he gets beaten up, and Marina choked him the hell out. You know, she really went for it, and she's great. I love that she's getting screen time. Again, the problem with women in AEW, it's nice to see a woman in a faction that gets time.
Yeah,
this is great.
And she looks like I agree. It is nice to see a woman.
Yeah, agreed. Moroney was apt commentary all again. So then we had and then Commander got chucked into the third row by Claudio again, just absolutely again, not the same but similar to when that human got lawn darted on Raw. You know, like it was Commander got thrown out. Then Mox grabbed a hammer. And he went up to Cassidy and said, "You've been in the same place since the beginning. This is a blessing." And he slammed it onto his hand. He broke his hand with a hammer and said, "This is a gift. Enjoy it." You know, it was great. It was very, very fun.
I love Mox. He's so good. He's so good.
So good. Really fun to see him actually be the character he wants to be and not chilling with houseplants and having an asylum match with Jericho. You know, it's fun. But then we had Darby run down with a skateboard and he swung at Mox. And Mox like ducked out of there. Like it was nice to see Marina holding back the boys, being like, it was basically again, I'm gonna rob from Wrestle Talk. It was why can't I think of the wizard guy in Infinity War and Endgame? Ebony Maw holding back the big guy when Thanos goes to fight Hulk, and he's like,
let him have his fun.
You know, like this is a fun time for where he gets hit the Hulk, you know?
Yeah, that guy's Nidge in fucking Love Hate.
That's Tommy Von Lawler?
Yeah.
Or Robbie? Is it Robbie Von
Lawler?
It's one of them.
I think it's Tommy Von Lawler.
That's crazy. I didn't know that at all. That's fantastic. That's so good.
Yeah.
But anyways, Darby came down. Darby and Mox is going to be so much fun. I get it's convoluted. I understand that. No, the booking is... It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show. And I just put at the end, every week, Darby looks more and more like a main eventer, which he does. The guy's got bass in his voice now. He doesn't cut the weird kind of no-impact promos he used to. And he'll kill himself for a clip on Twitter, which I respect, you know. Like, you gotta look there. Moroney, we'll shoot to you as the resident Fed man. What do you think of Darby Allin?
I want to take back my prior comments about if I had to place a mortgage in the bookies, I'd have to kill himself next to the ring. Because I forgot about Darby for a moment. I thought he was already dead at this point. Seeing the shit that he's getting up to. Honestly, I don't know how they managed to clear insurance on that man. But he's very entertaining. He's very captivating, and I predict he's going to be in a wheelchair before he's 40.
He's here for a fun time, not a long time.
That's every other woman's bio on Tinder. I expect it. That's what Darby Allin is. Just a woman roaming Tinder. But anyways, again, I think it's going to be fun. Then we had after that we had a Jack Perry vid. He's doing the whole Christ symbolism. I mean, at least he's not playing the punk footage anymore. He's fine. Like I think he's doing better than he ever has done.
Yeah. Like I will just say I plan to make videos. There is a video I want to make about Jack Perry and just like the unexpected way that he is broken through this year. Just because, dear God, if you had told me this time last year that Jungle Boy would have been like one of the most interesting of the four pillars of AEW, I would not have believed you.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I'm not going to go into the four pillars. We can go into that next week because we've already dragged out so much. I could talk for hours about the four pillars and which ones are valid in their naming and not. But we can get into that at another time. Cool. So Jack Perry vid was basically go on, David. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So Jack Perry vid was basically I'm Jesus, whatever. Ooh, love the van, fun little van he's got. Then we had the greatest match on the show. We had Ricochet versus the Beast Mortis. Let me just wax lyrical about this for a minute. I have so many notes. My first note, I fucking adore Ricochet's theme. The nods to the X-Men theme is peak. It's fantastic. I love that it's a nod to X-Men 97. A lot of fun. Mordos looks insane. He may be the best mask in wrestling right now.
Oh yeah.
Like it's great. Looks fantastic. Ricochet starting strong, but Morris just drove him into the corner and slapped the absolute piss out of that man. That was reverberating around the arena. Like you could hear that echo. You had Morris running over to the turnbuckle, but Ricochet with a suicida to him. You had a nice springboard clothesline, great distance from Ricochet. Then you had a really nice arm drag exchange, and both of them handspringing, each at a hurricanrana. Ricochet flipping over him and then got swept. Really fun stuff. Another suicida from Ricochet caught into an apron power bomb.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So we had the Tope suicida caught by Mortos into an apron power bomb, which was sick. It was great. A lot of fun. Then we had Taz saying, imagine seeing Mordos in a dark alley, or a lit alley, or just an alley in general. He was all about seeing Mordos in an alley.
It scares me.
Then we had, again, Mordos just smacking the shit out of Ricochet in the picture-in-picture break. It's incredible. Then we had a lovely little bit of the guys on commentary, so like Tony, Taz, and Excalibur, just naming different weird far off places that they heard the echo of those slaps from. Like Taz was like, they heard that in Scranton. Then they just listed multiple names. With Ricochet with a comeback, Tiger feint kick in the turnbuckle, that was nice. Again, then Ricochet springing around, but eventually gets caught up into a Samoan drop by Morris. The height on that was insane. He just popped them up real quick and dropped them back. It was really, really fun. Then we had a headbutt by Mordos that just looked, you mess with the bulls, you get the horns. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he gave him the bloody horns on that one. Ricochet chucked him over to the outside. Then he had a tope con hero that just bounced off Mordos. Like, he didn't even sell it. It was great. He just kind of it was great. Then he had a powerbomb attempt turned into the most sick sunset flip I've ever seen in my life from Ricochet. The sunset flip, code red, whatever you want to call it. David, I feel like you want to talk about that because you just made a big face.
Yeah, just the sounds some of these impacts make.
Done.
Especially that sunset flip. It's just like, it's not even a whack, it's just a very loud thud. Yeah.
It was sickening. And then just to finish off, run through it again. After that, Toby Conhero into the Code Redditors, the codes that flip. He had a springboard 450 for an earfall, which looked great because it's Ricochet and he makes everything look great. Then he had a top rope gorilla press slam from Bloody Mortos. He just dropped him from the top rope. It was great. And it was a 2. It was a bloody 2. And then you had Ricochet with a crucifix bomb, followed up by a vertigo for the win. And I'll just pop in at the end before we talk about it. You had the Ricochet Ospreay backstage segment, where in 2 weeks we'll have Ricochet Ospreay, which is fun. It's the best Ricochet's looked in a promo since he came.
Yeah.
But yeah, David, what do you think?
Yeah, I really loved it. I think you've explained it better than I could, but I will just say both men, especially in the last few weeks, have been utterly going crazy at every opportunity, and I love it. I did see something interesting that they're hinting towards. We're going to have the Black Bull Mortos join the White Bull Rouge.
Oh, give me that tag team. Give them the belts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give
absolutely.
the Bulls the horns. Just give them those.
Like,
that could be gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't love the Vertigo as a finisher, but he made it look great. Yeah.
I think it's fine. I don't think it's, for me, in terms of finishers that I really dislike, the Crossroads might be number one. I don't think it's Crossroads level for me. Because I just hate the idea that Cody has to hit 5 of them in the match to win.
Yeah, Roman's that match. That move don't be no
yeah. He's gonna face JD Inc. next week on fucking SmackDown. He's gonna drop in with 3. It's okay, but I think the Vertigo's fine. I think he could do something more impressive. Not even impressive. I don't mean he needs to do a lot of flips. I don't mean that at all. He's more than flips. I get it. But he could do something a bit different. But it's fine. It's whatever. Ronnie, have you caught any Ricochet stuff in AEW? Any thoughts on AEW versus WWE stuff?
Oh boy, we're about to go past midnight now.
Oh yeah, true.
No.
Smart man.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Continue on.
So yeah. And Ricochet Ospreay, we very, very excited for that 2 weeks. I think we are.
Both men
have it's gonna be
progressed in different ways since it happened 5-6 years ago. That goddamn, I was lucky. Quick litmus question, because every group of people I've asked this have had different answers. Do you think Ricochet wins the belt here? Because I would not be shocked either way, but I don't think it will be.
No.
I think he will win it eventually. I don't think it's this soon.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win it here. I think it's going to be the kind of point in the story with Ricochet where he realizes he hasn't leveled up as much as Will has. In terms of flipping around his game, which, again, he was in WWE, there was a particular style that they like, which is fine. I'm not shitting on that at all. But there's a particular style they like. They let Ricochet do his bits. They were like, oh, you're a fun high flyer. You'll do this, you'll do that, whatever. Ospreay was working indies and working New Japan and learning different styles and realizing, I can't do this flippy shit forever. I can still do flippy shit, but I need to switch it up. And, he incorporated that and has become probably the most over guy in AEW at the minute.
Oh yeah,
I would think easy, right? Him and Brian, right? They're the two. They're 1 and 2, right? But yeah, Ospreay's evolved so much. Sorry, go on, Phil.
I personally just believe that Ricochet's just never going to get over the why you bald allegations, and that's just going to hold him back for so long.
He is a bit Drake of pro wrestling.
Oh,
he looks like Drake. He just looks like Drake. I'm sorry, he does.
He doesn't look like Drake. He looks like Andrew Tate.
He looks like he attends Diddy parties.
Worse. Yeah.
Ricochet for Freak Off of the Year,
Yeah,
See, this is what's going to get us cancelled, Sean. I'm going to take that responsibility off of you.
I'm gonna drag it back to the match. I think it's gonna be a fun win for Will. I think there's gonna be some callbacks to the match. I hope they do a few little new bits, little nuances, kind of like showing again. Will's progressed more than Ricochet has because Ricochet hasn't been allowed to. Maybe if the Hurt Syndicate does show up, if those rumors are true, and Ricochet maybe goes heel and joins him, I think it'd be fun for him. I think it'd be different because he's been a smiling, flippy babyface guy for like years, like nearly 10 years at this point. Give us a bit of character, you know? Show us if you can do something. And if you can't, fair enough. If you can, which I think you can, great. But yeah, that was sorry, what?
Just no fists, just flips. Yeah.
Dive. But then we had a Hangman promo next. We had a little video package before the in-ring stuff, which one line was fantastic. Justice delayed is justice denied by Hangman. Hangman's been on a crazy run. The whole hatred mustache he's got going on. It's fantastic. Like it's great stuff.
He's taken from his spiritual granddad Stan Hansen. He's just gradually turning more and more into that just like ornery, will kill anyone sort of character.
Yeah, he's got the best I hate you, I'm gonna burn a hole through you with my stare face, I think, going at the minute. He is, I think, arguably one of the best heels at the minute, just for what he's done with Swerve. And the fact that he is a heel in general is ridiculous. But again, we move. Swerve's cool and wears fancy jackets. Isn't that fun? But he did break into his house and on a baby. Let's remember that.
We do have we're finally getting that Hangman fucking Jarrett match that everyone wants.
Dude, I'm so pumped. So before we bleed into the Jarrett's, I'll just give a quick rundown. So Paige came out to the ring. My first line was, after he had a few words with Tony, he's gonna fucking deck Tony Schiavone, which the crowd knew and picked up on. Then Jarrett comes in, my boy JEFFJARRETT, the Slapknot Master, comes in, saves Tony. And I said, Jarrett to the rescue. And by rescue, I guess I mean to be battered by Hanger. Because he's going to be, right? Like, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the young, angry man beating up the old last outlaw, right? But Hanger vs. Jarrett, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. They didn't announce it for next week, so maybe anniversary show, I think.
I think it's, I'll look it up and I will just add it into the finished video, but I think it is next week.
Okay, cool.
I think it's Collision next week, yeah.
Oh, right, Collision?
Yeah. Really? It's going to all be filmed the same day, but it seems like they're only adding
Grand Slam,
Yeah, okay.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, a delight to Moroney's ears. We're nearly done. We're on the main event of AEW Dynamite. Then we can jump into SmackDown and he can have his piece. But main event of SmackDown. What? I think Moroney's realizing what we have left. But anyways, I'll run through this pretty quick. I think all we need to know about this match is who was in it. We had Ospreay, Fletcher, and Takeshita versus the Young Bucks and Okada. It was a lot of fun, everybody. So I'll just give a quick rundown and then I'll shoot over to David and we'll talk about, the match and just general kind of characters throughout. So we had Fletcher, first of all, was left hanging by Takeshita at the start for a fist bump, which at first I thought, oh my God, that's funny. He didn't see him. And then again, I drove to WrestleTalk. I watched their review and they were like, oh, it's brilliant that he didn't even see him. It's a little small accoutrement to the whole, Takeshita's a heel and Fletcher is a face and he's going to join Ospreay in the United Empire. And then I was like, oh, that's completely changed how I view that. That's great. Kyle and Nick to kick it off, which was fun. Flippy boys doing flippy stuff. Kyle's over as hell as well. He's really, the last few weeks, ever since Davis has been off, I'm glad they've had the ball rolling with Kyle. And I'll be interested to see what they do with Davis when he comes back. Maybe he'll do a flip and join the family. Maybe he'll join Kyle and Ospreay. You never know. So we had Okada Ospreay in the ring. It was Liquid Wrestling because it was Okada and Ospreay. We had a miscommunication from the family. And Ospreay Ospreay and them had got triple sentons from the Elite. Then we had triple drop kicks and crossbodies to the Elite from Family. Fletcher's amazing in this. He's just, everything he does is really fluid. You can really tell that he's Ospreay's protege and that he's going to, again, get to that level at some point. I love the fact that Will and Takeshita were kind of slapping each other's hands away to get a tag from Kyle. I thought that was brilliant. Then being like, because face and heel, all that sort of stuff. Deadlift brainbuster from Takeshita was amazing. You had Gamagiris by the Bucks to Okada in a miscommunication from them, and then the triple team from the Family to Okada, which was fun. Takeshita just shook off a double super kick and dropped the Bucks with a double clothesline. But then he got hit by a drop kick from Okada, dropped him down. You had I don't know what this is called. David, you might be able to clear this up for me. So Okada does this kind of, he lifts him kind of into a white noise kind of hold and then drops him on his knee for a neck breaker.
I think it's
I'm not
called
sure
Heavy Rain.
Cool.
Heavy Rain, I think. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I never knew what it was called, but I always love it when he does it in matches. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a fun little kind of neck breaker. I love like different neck breakers. Like that's why I like Roddy, because he just well, back breakers. But, you know,
That's why you love
breaks everything.
Bryan Danielson so much.
shut up.
Can't take you anywhere.
Okay, so we'll run down the end of it then. We had double foot stomps onto Ospreay and the ropes into a powerbomb, which was beautiful. It was like that clip you sent in.
Oh yeah, Ospreay's trying to get that guy hired.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. That's fantastic. So yeah, that spot was great. Then we had an underhook into a spine buster from Fletcher and Ospreay, which was absolutely gorgeous. And then Fletcher had the Coriolis for the win for the Family. And there was a bit of tension between them. Oh, are we going to shake hands and be friends, bro? Nah. Takeshita was like, yeah, fuck you, basically. Yeah, that was AEW Dynamite. That was the main event. David?
I had a lot of fun. This match is, you know what you're getting with these guys. But, God, if it just doesn't blow you away. Like, just the little character interactions, like the little nods to Ospreay and Okada's past. Which they're definitely building something towards that in the future, not just the stuff with Takeshita, because he's only ever beaten Okada clean once. That was the last time they were in a singles match together. No, actually it wasn't. It was the second last time. But God, Kyle Fletcher, I love that guy. Yeah, and
he's
like
great.
It's not as I would say it's not as apparent when he's in there with Okada, but I've met Fletcher. He is fucking massive.
Yeah, he's so tall. He's like, I see it when he's in, like, he's, to use a term that people are going to get angry at, he's WWE size. In that, like, he's got the height. He's so lanky. And I really can't wait to see if he, like, as he gets older, if he builds up the muscle. It's going to be really interesting to see his kind of change. Will it be similar to Ospreay, that he packed on a few pounds and he changed up his style? I think it will be, because as much fun as like flipping all over is, you can't do it forever.
Especially for that size.
Unless you're in a studio and you've
I know a guy in OTT again. There's a lad called Omari. He is very, very tall. He used to do a lot of the flips, but no, this wasn't him, but he broke his neck during a match. And he has like lessened on the flippy stuff ever since, because if you're that big, the rotation is going to be much harder to do. But I don't see that level of worry in him yet. He hits it very smoothly. He's very good at a lot of things, despite what people might tell you. But God, he's definitely the highlight of this match. Like, Takeshita, everyone expects him to do good. Ospreay, everyone expects him. And Okada, like, Okada has been called one of the best wrestlers in the world for the last 15 years. Like,
up until his age.
And the Bucks were there.
Yeah, and the Bucks.
Stop it. Stop it, Sean. I get it. He's being comedy. Oh, well, if you went to WWE, this wouldn't happen. Where's Shinsuke Nakamura? That's all I'm saying.
I think he might leave because, like,
Yeah.
I've always felt like he's going to go back to Japan for his last run, and they really, really need him right now.
Yeah, true. Good call out for him.
Yeah,
But
but-
again, at the end of it, fun main event. Interesting stuff for Grand Slam next week. Really interested to see what they do for the 5-year anniversary afterwards. And then you have Wrestle Dream, I think the week after, or maybe
it
2
is
weeks
the
after.
week after Bad Blood, so we're going to have a very busy time.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun though. It's going to be really interesting to see, and hopefully Sean watches Grand Slam next week, and he can partake of it and his little snippets, which we all love. We all really,
promise
really
for next week.
Yeah.
Can we not start recording at like 9 p.m?
Yeah.
We'll try.
We will try. Okay, and I had a great time with Dynamite. Good show. I like the build so far, but now we're going to chuck it over to the last section of this pilot. We're going to review SmackDown. Take it away, Jeff.
Fucking proper show.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to correct David. We're reviewing SmackDown, not SmackDown, because the new logo is terrible. The song is
I fucking love the new logo.
Oh, shut up. It's bad. It's a bad logo. I'm sorry.
No, you know what? Like, dead serious. I genuinely think it's the best SmackDown logo of all time.
Oh, Moroney, the explanation point. You stop.
I do. Genuinely, I do.
Okay, it's going to take forever. Jeff, just please, just end our misery.
Okay, hold up. Before we continue, I'm going to pour a drink. So, Moroney, spotlight is yours. Explain to us why that is the best logo.
I just think it's very nice. Look, in my opinion, for the longest time, between the debut of its logo up until you had fucking Raw Super Showdown fucking style SmackDown logo, I thought it looked absolutely fucking garbage. I think they recovered it nicely for literally about a year, and then they turned it into the fucking SmackDown Live logo, which was fucking horrible, may I just fucking say. And since they came to fucking Fox, the logo was fine. It was fine. It wasn't anything too fucking drastic, but it wasn't ugly either. This one, it's fucking unique in comparison to the rest of the fucking show's history. It still pays homage to, I feel like, every iteration of the SmackDown logo, and fucking it does its job. It's a logo. It's fine. I really like it. They switched it up for a fucking change. I can't wait to see what they do with Raw when it gets to fucking Netflix, because I'm so sick of that fucking logo now. After what? 9 years?
10. Yeah. Jeff.
Yeah.
You got anything to add there?
No, well, perfect as usual from Sean.
Okay,
Fantastic
so
stuff. It's a bad logo, but I just think personally it's a bad logo. I don't think it's fun. I think the new theme is fine. It's fine. People are hating on it. People are loving it. It's grand.
Yeah.
It's grand. I don't have any response to it, but like it's fine.
I love the new match.
Exactly. Yeah, true. But yeah, she's relevant. It's fun. Anyways, so SmackDown. So we had a recap of the Cody Rhodes stuff from last week to start off. Then we had the Bloodline getting checked on the way in. Only the Bloodline, which is a bit trips. Guys like you don't win titles. But then we had Jacob Fatu just beating the absolute shit out of the security guard, which is on brand for him, so it's fair.
Yeah.
Why not?
So we're kicking off. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Who?
You.
Oh, I just said why not? Like.
Oh yeah, fair. Again, the guy tried to pat him down. Anyone else want to pat down? It was good. Jacob Fatu is great whenever he's on screen. So we started off the SmackDown era big. We had LA Knight versus Andrade for the US title. Again, I think Andrade. I love Andrade in ring. I just think
he's not giving like, anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hitting, right? It's fun and it's great, and LA is great. So I'll just give a quick rundown and I'll switch it over to the boys. So first of all, I mentioned why is Knight out first. I don't get why he's out first. He's the champion. He should be second. I know WWE does the champion first sometimes. I don't like it. Then we had a quick start, both of them going for finishes, both reversed. We had a beautiful crossbody from Andrade. We had LA Knight dribbling Andrade's head off the announce table, rolled him in, and then hit a slingshot shoulder block for a near fall. It's good. It's good stuff from LA Knight. I don't know why they keep trying to push Andrade as a face, though. Like, I don't like, he's a perfect heel. I don't get it. He's such a good heel. The whole Tranquilo thing, you know?
Dick. Yeah.
He's a dick. And there's nothing wrong with being a dick. He's a good dick, you know? And everyone needs that in their life, you know? We've got Moroney. So we've had that. Then we had such a pretty moonsault from Andrade. He knows how to do moves very well.
Yeah.
Surprise. Andrade's good in the ring. You know, shock horror. Then he hit the double moonsault, which again, I always forget how pretty it is. He sticks the landing perfect every time, and it's so good. I love it. Double knees for a near fall for Andrade. Double knees are fine. He is the least egregious ones, I think. They always seem impactful, so this is fun. Whatever. Then we had a nice save from Knight with the adjustment of the power slam. A lot of mishap power slams going on this week. But Knight again powered him up. It made Knight look strong. He just lifted him and dropped him. Good stuff. Then I just put a little appreciation note for Andrade's spinning back elbow. It should be his finish. Why isn't it his finish? It's bloody gorgeous. Bars on the floor. But yeah, great back elbow. Andrade went for the final message, so that's the one off the top rope, as opposed to the message, which is his was it Hammerlock DDT, whatever. Yeah, a couple of mistakes on the top by Knight. I feel bad for him. I feel like his biggest moments are always played in ring wise by a little niggly thing, but he really recovered well, I think, because Andrade just took over, which makes sense because a lot of the time they try and do it again, and it just looks, it looks cooperational. It looks kind of naff, but I think they did really well. And then Andrade dived for a diving nothing. And then avoided by Knight, and I hit the BFT for a W for Knight. I think there might be some heat. I don't know if it's heat or it's just them acting pretty well after the match, because an awkward ending where Knight went for a fist bump, but Andrade shook his fist, and Knight looked really pissed off when it caught him above his eye. So I don't know.
No,
I don't know if that's a shoot, brother.
I hope it's not a shoot. Although I will say, when I was scrolling through their YouTube channel this morning to get more fresher look at it, I just saw the backstage comment video was called "Pledge Allegiance to Your U.S. Champion." I was like, "You gotta be careful with the way you word that. Gotta be very careful."
So I'm gonna throw it over to Seán first, because Seán's been silent enough for the last seg. So Seán, what did you think of the opener of the US title match?
I thought it was fun. I'm going to compare a lot of things to, because I've seen those bits of SmackDown this week because I was busy this weekend. But I'm going to compare a lot of it to the debut episode on Fox. The match with Andrade and Knight was fine. I don't think it lived up anywhere to the caliber of Hayes versus Andrade. I think there's almost I agree with you in certain aspects where it's I don't see why they're trying to build him up to be a face, because it doesn't suit his character. I find each week watching the Hayes versus Andrade series and watching it continue into this match, Andrade is walking now to zero reaction, and throughout the match himself improving in the ring, having to essentially fight for the crowd reactions. And in fairness, he is getting them by the end of the match. But then the next week comes along and he comes out again to no reaction. And it's really frustrating because he should be building in the momentum, but he's not, because one with the Hayes versus Andrade series, it was stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And now it's stop again, what are we to expect next week? I get it's a championship opportunity. It's a high caliber match, but he still lost.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't flawless. I don't think it was ninth best match. But, you know, it opened the show. What can you do? It's one of the few times to which you kind of look at it and you go, I don't think it hurt either men, but it didn't help either men either.
Yeah.
I think just on their fight, he's fighting through the match to get the crowd's approval every time. I'd liken it to, I hate to say this, liken it to DIY's run on the main roster. I adore DIY. I love Ciampa and I love Gargano, but it's just like, it's similar to Andrade. They're great in ring. They're great pro wrestlers. They're fantastic, but like the crowd just isn't sticking with them. The crowd always gets with them by the end, like Sean said with Andrade in this match, but they don't stick with him, and it's a shame. And again, Andrade, it's a weird sort with Andrade. I feel like there's a curse on anyone trying to be the next Mexican export, because like anyone trying to take over from Ray, it's not working. You know, well, like they never worked. Yeah, but Dominic's like a generational talent, all right? You know, he's just so good, right? But yeah, like it's a shame. But again, I think in terms of across all three shows that we've talked about, it was the best opener. I think I'm surprised we all agreed on the Punk promo. I think we can all agree that Orange Cassidy and Jericho was good as a match, but went about 10 to 15 minutes too long in terms of what it was. But yeah, so we had that. Then we had, hold on, let me scroll down. Then we had, too far. Then we had it's only Anaya and Tiffy backstage, like, so it was just kind of a we're gonna go beat Bailey and Naomi. Oh well, if you lose, Tiffy, you should leave. Again, Nia having the best run she's had, but this segment was meh. Tiffy can't wait till she cashes in. She's great. Her and Chelsea Green, great. You know, like they're both kind of the same character, kind of not, but like great fun. It was a nothing seg, but Tiffy's gonna be great and probably get a great pop when she cashes in. Any thoughts on that segment?
Not particularly, because it's just your typical we're pretending to be friends tag team segment. I am just waiting to expend my energy on the match later, because you'll hear it shortly. But yeah, Sean.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it. Sean.
Yeah, so again, I'm gonna look. It's not going to be much to do with the promo, in my opinion. It's very much like bringing it back to, again, the debut episode on Fox. Like Jeff said, Nia's having the best run of her career. Like Bailey said on that debut episode, wasn't really a high standard to beat. Tiffany's, blowing it out of the fucking water. I think they're hindering her a little bit, though, with the longer this feud goes on, or this team goes on. But I don't know if I speak for anyone else, but watching the debut episode of Fox, the entire time I was fully expecting Charlotte to fucking walk out and challenge for
you.
And it was Bailey, it was Naomi, and I just thought, not this shit again.
Yeah, it's been like I don't think rumors about her specifically coming back. I think it was more rumor killers about her coming back. I think everyone expected her to pop in for the SmackDown kind of debut on a new network, which was actually a premiere episode. So well done, Trips. You're getting the premiere episodes, right? You're not just saying it when it's not. It's actually a premiere episode. But yeah, I'm kind. It's weird to say this because I've never really been into her at all in terms of like following her as a wrestler. I'm excited for Charlotte to come back, I think.
Yeah.
Like another top woman in the division. Sean, anyway, sorry.
I just think that, like, the Fed is the one company that has so many excellent women wrestlers that you do not need to be rinsing and repeating feuds like this. Like, Bailey's had her moment in the spotlight. Great. Cool. maybe switch it up a bit. You have, Bianca and Jade competing on SmackDown. Maybe have one of them challenge as a singles competition. Maybe not Bianca though, 'cause she got rolled up on Raw, but maybe Jade. Just have a SmackDown match with that, or a number one's contendership match, or maybe a tournament, because I love a tournament. But I think a lot of women are going to waste. I feel like that is a very consistent theme with a lot of, the Fed's roster under Triple H, because he seems to be a man of quality over quantity. A lot of people are just not being showcased anymore, I've noticed. Like Shinsuke, like AJ Styles, never mind going through the entire Rolodex of it. I'm sure they'll get their moment in the limelight again. But it's kind of like, okay, where are these arguably household names that are nowhere on any of the shows?
Yeah, I think the one thing people can agree on across like AEW and WWE is the promotion of women. But like outside Liv and Rhea, I know, yeah. But like in terms of like growing the division, I think they're doing better than they have done, but that's not saying much at the same time. And that's across the board for both companies. And with Trips, I think tag teams as well, I think are suffering. I think it's he doesn't, not that he, I don't know, doesn't care, I think is unfair, but like, he's not putting as much effort into that as he is the singles men division. Like that's his bread and butter, right? Which is fair, but like, I feel like even his NXT stuff, he liked tag teams, he liked women wrestling, but like, I don't know, maybe he's changed, maybe he got hit on the head, I don't know, but like, again, I don't think we need to derail it too much more. Sean, sorry, what?
With a roster that has Asuka on it, Io Sky, like sure, maybe there's the whole brand exclusivity, but with the women's tag team wrestling seeming to not stick to that, don't stick to it. You have so many views that you could just do. Don't give me this wash repeat. Do Dakota Kai or whatever the fuck. Honestly, just give me something new. Build some new stars. Come on, guys.
No, I think we're trying to say, let's move on.
Perfect. Again, do better with the women. That's all we'll say. And we'll say it weekly. Then we had the Andrade Carmelo backstage seg where Carmelo's like, you lost, LMAO. And then Andrade beat the shit out of him. Again, I think it's going to be a fun best of sevens. I think Andrade's up at the minute, so that means Carmelo's winning next week, and then maybe I don't think pay-per-view, but like a go home or a post pay-per-view main event maybe, because they like to build them up now. I think that'll be fun. Whatever, we've gone to that. Then we have the cinema of SmackDown. We have the Cody and Roman face-off, which was absolutely beautiful. I know people are overplaying it. They're like, this is cinema. This deserves an Oscar. It was beautiful. It was gorgeously shot. The whole interaction was great. I'll give a quick rundown. I'll shoot to the boys. We'll see what the crack is. So we had my first note is I can hear the "this is cinema" tweets already. Whatever. First of all, I just have a quote from Reigns. Everything you put your eyes on in here is mine. So Reigns talked about how he used to blood, sweat, and tears in terms of football because he played for Georgia Tech. Is Georgia Tech? Yeah, Georgia Tech Arena. He was in. So
that went so well.
Sorry?
That went so well.
Again, like most wrestlers who used to be football players, went so well for them. But again, I think it was fun, the dichotomy of like Roman being like, I played for Georgia Tech, this is my city, the whole entitlement that has come with the tribal chief character that he's portrayed, and Cody again leading into his character of my dad bled here, so that means I did. So it was bits Cody shouted out a few stadiums down the road and stuff like that. Says his family's been bleeding here for generations. Again, I think it was a really good portrayal of the kind of character faults of both of them here. We saw Roman kind of trying to build up the bravado stuff, but then kind of realizing I don't have this because I don't have my little fat lad, I don't have my fun little necklace, and I
Mm.
don't have the title. And Cody being like, well, I have the belt, but when I beat you at Mania, there was about 1,000,000 other people in the ring who took out the other people, so I didn't really be, it's a fun little kind of retrospective on. They had their kind of blow off, but at the same time, it wasn't really because it was overbooked and it was a Triple H main event of Mania, and it was great, and we all loved it, and I cried, and it was fantastic. But again, it was a show of insecurities. We have, I just said, Reigns claiming Cody's hometown is crazy. He's fantastic. Then we had a little quote from Reigns: "For the first time, there's no weight on my neck, and I'm a man with no country now."
Mm.
It has such a good line. Cody coming back at Reigns really quickly again. The mention of the family stuff.
Shout out
I
to
thought
Jimmy
Roman-
getting acknowledged for the first time in a fucking minute.
True, very true.
Rikishi's jeans in his fucking pants. They didn't forget about it. We know they didn't forget about it.
That's Rikishi's nephew, not his son. He doesn't give a shit. We had Roman actually losing his bravado and asking Cody what he wants was really nice, because he was kind of like, Roman's always been the guy of like, give me that mic. Even last week, he was like, I think I'll just give me the mic. He was commanding his stuff, but when he's face to face with Cody, it's like, you beat me, so I don't have that the big dog kind of, he doesn't have that vibe around him, which is really interesting to look at. And then I was like, I know I joked a bit at the start about hearing that this is cinema comments, but holy shit, that was brilliant. It was shot beautifully. And then at the end they cut to KO watching that, and he just walks off when Byron comes up to him. So guys, any thoughts on that particular beautiful piece of work?
No, you put it, I think, very well. It is very well shot. I love the sort of callbacks that they went, especially Cody saying, going through all the things that Roman said he lost, to which Cody said, "Well, I told you this would happen, and look where you are now."
True, a chief without a tribe.
Yeah, and I was also distracted by the fucking song that they had chosen.
Yeah, what was that song? I liked it.
I liked it.
I really enjoyed it.
Distracting.
I feel like it was a scrapped Jade track, maybe. So, maybe it's a single thing. Anyways, Sean, what thoughts on the cinema?
I love little things about it. Like I thought it was a great promo. I do find it funny that essentially their relationship, even after wrestling at Mania, Cody winning the title, is them two going face to face and going, what you have or what you think you have is actually mine, and the other going, no, you. But there's little details throughout the promo which I've really enjoyed, like Roman going to Cody, "You're in my way," and Cody having either the decency or being fucking pussy, to which he steps out of the way, and Roman has to fucking reiterate the message, "You're in my way," in live before he fucks off, because you have to get the last word in. One really little detail I liked, so it was after they stopped playing the song, like when it was going on throughout the promo. I can't remember what the line delivery was, but there was like a piano key that went off kind of like halfway through it. And I don't know if you've noticed this, because I don't know how many of the network documentaries you've watched, was the exact same piano key that starts those documentaries. I saw it there. I was like, oh, you're fucking playing with me there. It's in the details. But no, from start to finish, I really enjoyed the entire segment.
Yeah, I thought when you said piano key, all I thought of, because one of my mates sent me an edit to Cody Rhodes's kind of clapbacks at Reigns with the Homelander piano, or not piano, but like that little score, the evil score where he kills the guy and everyone's like, yeah, go on.
All right.
He lays his face off. Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm not going to derail it and be like, oh, Cody is a hero, it's going to be so much fun. But like, I feel like the way he clapped back here, he was very much like like, fuck you. Like, I'm the champion. But also, I feel like he was trying to more convince himself. He's like, I'm better than you. You've not got your bloodline anymore and all that. But I think deep down, they both kind of are like, maybe we need to run this back. And I think they will at some point. I don't know if it's going to be Mania. I feel like that's going to be more Rock Roman. But
It's almost like siblings.
It's like, it's kind of reminiscent of like Cody and Rollins, because they were both kind of Triple H boys, you know, like in a way, you know, like they're both in and stuff.
No. Well, you have to remember, Jeff, Roman is one of Dusty's kids, so
loved that promo. But before we get derailed by this again, we'll move on. I think the best thing on the show by miles, again, WWE makes movies, and by God, this was a good watch. It was fantastic. So after that, we had Apollo Crews versus Giovanni Vinci.
which was this match.
I don't know what they're doing with Vinci. My first note is a telltale sign of a segment I didn't care about, because it's about Corey on commentary. I said Corey being livid about Vinci being rolled up last week and popping off at Cody and Reigns for taking 15-minute entrances is fantastic. Because it was so good. Corey was like, oh, well, Cody and Roman take 15 minutes to get to the ring. No one's rolled them up. It's like, this is great. This is fantastic. Corey's fighting his case. And then Apollo with basically a director's cut version of the roll-up, because he went for the roll-up, and then Giovanni kicked out, and then he rolled him up. So, and then I think Vinci beat him up or whatever, but who cares? I'm assuming we can move on. No one has any deep thoughts.
Is that actually how it went?
Yeah, that's how it went. Yeah, it was director's cut of last week. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They asked him to release the Snyder's cut, they did. And nobody liked it.
Why is he still not in Imperium?
I know, David, but we've dragged on so much.
Okay, let's just go.
We'll talk about Giovanni more next week, if he's on this show.
He's serious.
We had
volleyball allegations.
He's the ricochet of the bed.
Now I think about it, Kurt was really lucky with the career he had.
Yeah, he was. He was born at the right time. So then we had a KO in ring segment. Michael Cole saying that what a pest Byron is. All right, Cole, tell us how you really feel. He was really annoyed about it. But to be fair, Byron annoyed him like 3 times in about 5 minutes, so I get it.
That's my commentator. My Biden right adjustment commentator.
Your boy. So then my first note was, well, here comes the bloodline. And came they did. So here we have Tamatanga. I was like, Tamatanga needs to stop with the fucking goofy noises. The little noises he makes. He's doing it on mic now.
He learned how to talk this week. I'm so happy for
not
him.
Not very fucking well. my next point, I think it was Tama who said this. He just said you, but he like elongated it, so I just put down you, Soldier Boy. So it just made me think of fucking Soldier Boy. And then Tama goes on about like, oh, Kevin Owens, we're gonna beat you up or whatever. And then Kevin just goes, no one has ever wanted to hear anything you've ever had to say. Which, true. Very true. Then it was like 3 of them beating them down to fuck. And then I yelled, we are DIY. So, rest in peace to Death Rebel if the rumors are true. Thank Christ. Give him a Paramore song. Yeah, true. Then they hit a shatter machine on Tonga, which I love that they've started using the shatter machine. I love the shatter machine. It's a great move. It's fantastic. And then Nick Aldis comes out and is like, oh, we're going to have a Rio's match. Why are you thumbsing down? What happened? Yeah.
Okay.
There was little speech bubbles with the thumbs down. Sorry. Anyways, so anyone have any profound thoughts on the KO and Bloodline and ringside with DOI?
Yeah, why weren't they in the match?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Moroney, any thoughts?
I actually haven't gotten to see it yet.
Oh, fair enough.
I apologize. I've been on holidays this weekend, and I tried to catch up with it, but I've been pulled it all across the place. So this one of the few segments I actually haven't been able to see.
Okay.
It's alright, we'll talk to your pay. So...
Yeah.
Did Steve come back out this week?
Wait, what?
Did you not see Kevin's original tag partner on the debut episode on Fox? Steve. His name was Steve.
Are you thinking of Ricky?
Ricky, yeah, it's Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky. Ricky's the boy. Anyway,
apparently he's up in Randy's truck, so good on him.
Okay, Jeff, before.
So next... Yeah, moving on. Next we had a Bailey and Naomi backstage seg. Again, general discussion about the tag match, nothing important. Then we had the tag match. David, you had thoughts. Let's hear them. What did you think about the tag match?
I liked the match, but why do you do the double pin? Why are they having a match to determine a number one contender? This is why the match was set up to begin with. Why are they doing any of this?
You could just do a triple threat, you know?
I think they will, but it's still convoluted. Yeah.
A bit weird. Sean, any thoughts on that? Do you get to see the tag match at all?
I did get to see the tag match. I couldn't care for the tag match. Look, again, you know, I think it's an incredible disservice to Naomi, the fact that, you know, she went away from the company, she did so well, fucking, you know, made herself a name, comes back, and instead of, you know, Bailey just sitting this one out because, you know, she's already had her feud, fuck off for a bit, feud with someone else, you know, Naomi instead is kind of being forced to share the spotlight, and instead of, you know, being able to have a proper feud, it's a, hey girl, do you wanna help me compete for the World Championship? Yeah, I'll help you out with that. It just cheapens the entire feeling of it, and I'm not buying it. I feel like whatever they decide on, Nia's still walking out of the arena with the belt around her waist. Or
not anytime soon. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I think,
unless
like,
it's Tiffy.
But see, here's the thing. I fully expect like Tiffy to fail her cash in, and that just leads to a feud to which actually has her compete for the belt in a fair match. And I expect her to also lose that as well. But at some point, I don't think if they're gonna just try and replay the same feud a bunch of times, I genuinely think the next women's champion is either going to be Charlotte or it's going to be Tiffany. I don't see it any other way.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I think the whole, like, Bailey being like, yeah, we're a team, and then, like, just give Naomi a title match. Who cares? Whoever faces Nia next is going to lose anyways. Just give Naomi a spot. She's great. She's really, really good. She shoot Hurricane Rana, Jay or Jimmy Uso, one of them. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, Jimmy, her husband.
They looked the same. Jimmy. She gave him a shoot Hurricane Rana. It was great. But, like, just give her a spot. I think that's...
Have Becky return and fucking run back the fucking feud from years ago that they never did.
True, actually. Yeah, that could be fun. But again, I think we've covered it again. Give more thought and time to the women. We say it again. They won't hear us, but we say it again. Then we had the main event. So I titled this as DIY KO versus the Bloodline, but it wasn't that because the DIY got taken out by the Samoans, and then the Street Profits came out. So I'm going to run through this very, very quickly. Because it was a fun main event. It was, again, similar to Dynamite. It was a fun little trios match. Unsimilar to Dynamite, there weren't some of the greatest wrestlers in the world in this. There were some decent, Jacob I put in that, and Kevin's great.
Can we just call it so, like, you know, the streamlined names. Just Street Profits and Kevin Owen. Their tag trio's name is Oreo versus Wolfpack Bloodline.
Yes, I am so down for that. That's perfect. So we had Wolfpack Bloodline versus the Oreo. So we had. Alright, I just run through it very quickly. So to kick off the match, we had a full-on assault from KO. On KO from the Samoa Boys. Street Profits show up, and apparently they wanted to smoke. Who would have guessed it? So we had kicking off, we had a top rope senton to the outside by KO, which was really fun, taking out the full bloodline. I was like, bro isn't even in the arena, they're chanting OTC. So like Reigns is just forever over, which makes sense. Then I have a line, Jacob Fatu is just incredible, because he is. He's great, everyone loves him. Everyone does well putting him over, but Corey Graves really does a great job. That's a reference to Fatu. Like, Corey kills it. Corey's underrated and people hate on him a lot. He is great. I'm a big fan. I've been a fan of him ever since his WWE or NXT run, even like in ring. I liked him when he was in ring. Like the Lucky 13 is a fun submission, but like his commentary stuff has just gotten better and better. Then we had everyone hitting sentons in this match, because I think at least like 2/3 of this match hit a senton at some point. Like they were all hitting sentons. They all loved it. Even though they've done it for ages now, it still captured me off guard when they mentioned outside Fed accomplishments. That was in reference to GOD with the New Japan Pro Wrestling tag title runs. I think that's fun. I just like when they mention outside stuff. The body block by Jacob was incredible. It was so good. Like a simple move like a body block, he just shuts it down. There's a 360 stinger splash from Dawkes right into a super kick and just dropped him by Jacob. It was great. Double jump moonsault, beautiful as ever from Jacob. Then you had bloody, what can I think of the guy's name? Someone staggered Fatu. It was bloody Dawkins. Dawkins staggered Fatu. Hot tag to Montez, clean house, following up, running through Tongaloa and Fatu, ending with a cannonball to Tama and a swanton for a near fall. I just love the lore of Owens not being able to be superplexed. Like every time someone tries to superplex, I'm like, it's not gonna happen, brother. He doesn't get superplexed. So no, it's not gonna work for me, brother. And then he hits like a fisherman superplex. Like Owens just hits his fisherman superplex. He's like, you're not doing that to me. You're not talking. Stunner to Tama, below whipping out Owens. Then there was DQ ending. Car. Rips loves his DQs. Fair enough. Fatu was true. Fatu taken out by Forge, but not for long though. Fatu is back on it. Everything Fatu has done has extra spice on it, because it does. Triple powerbomb to KO, interrupted by DIY, who became DOA on coming out and trying to save Owens because they were just dropped by the bloody bloodline. They absolutely got killed. Cody Wall Rhodes comes out, does his little entrance, and it's like, I'm gonna save everyone. And then steel chair in hand, Fatu super kicks it away, but Cody landing his cutter, which he stole from Ospreay. Fun times. KO is defo gonna hit him with the steel chair, and that ends SmackDown. Cody Rhodes standing tall, and KO in the background. Boys, what do we think of the main event of SmackDown? What are we like?
Great until the ending.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I get you like these guys strong, but you can have like even a screwy ending. I think people really liked. I like the clusterfucks, but you can have like people are just not gonna believe the match is over when it's pinned, because all of these bloodline matches are just interference, DQ. Like, they're all good. Jacob Fatu is a legitimate superhuman.
Yeah, guy's over as hell. But yeah, I think Trips just leans too much on the DQ finish. It's a shame, because he's great.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I am very interested to see where the match that Solo and Jacob have Roman and Cody at Bad Blood. I don't have much to say other than that. It was good. Why won't DIY in the match? But yeah.
Yeah, again, I feel like the whole idea was talking about it earlier about like, no, with DIY, they never get the crowd on side. It's because they have build-up matches, and they build up to nothing. You know, they don't ever get a spotlight. But anyway, Sean,
And then I thought it was a great showcase for the Prophets. I enjoyed the most part. I think. Look, as much as I enjoyed the showcase of the Prophets, I genuinely think you could have probably achieved what you were looking to achieve a lot more effectively if you had like a 1v1 between Jacob and Kevin Owens, have Kevin beat him, and then just have the bloodline come out, start beating the shit out of Kevin, and then having everyone else come out and start, brawling. You could have done that. Would have had a clean match to which doesn't damage the storyline that you're trying to build going into Bad Blood. It's not like KO is on a massive, winning streak at the moment anyways. It's not like or the loss will damage him in any way, shape or form. Jacob's very much a believable person in order to do such. I think it just got messy without it needing to be for whatever reason, especially the fact that, DIY like you said, was DOA. Like, it was just unnecessarily messy, in my opinion. But I find that to be the case a lot at the moment when it comes to the new Bloodline storyline. So, I'm not surprised, but it is what it was. I wasn't expecting Cody to actually pop out at all tonight. I thought his segment would have been over and done with Rowan. But I suppose that's what happens when you're the champ. You can't let the fans down. You have to end the show by giving everyone their high fives and signing their babies' foreheads before you can leave their arena. But, we'll see how it all culminates. But yeah, I don't know what opinions other than that. Fine match.
Yeah.
Messy segment.
That was SmackDown. I think overall, pretty decent show, We've got
Top Dynamite.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you. And overall,
it's really
great stuff this week. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think, moving into the respective big shows coming up, I think we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, I think both companies are looking really strong into their, again, respective big shows. Like, coming up to, like, obviously, AEW has, like, a succession of big shows. You have your Grand Slam show next week. You have the Dynamite 5-year anniversary, which, again, they like to plug their anniversary shows. And then you have Wrestle Dream, which, again, last year, I think was brilliant. I think it was a great show. I think it's going to be a great show again this year. And then in terms of WWE, I think Bad Blood is going to be a lot of fun. Like in terms of Bad Blood, you have, I really hope it's Naomi versus Nia, but who knows? You've got Damien versus Finn, which is going to be fun. I assume that's going to be Bad Blood. Makes sense. You've got McIntyre and Punk, which is going to be a lot of fun. You've got the tag team match again, which is going to be a lot of fun. And probably Gunther Sammy. Is there anything I'm missing out on?
Not that I can tell.
I did not listen to the match you called it. You're really wrong.
I think
it's late. I'm tired.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think both companies are looking really strong going into their respective shows, and it's going to be a fun couple of weeks getting there. I'm really excited.
Yeah, just switch up gears instead of talking about promotions that are going into their big shows. Let's talk about a promotion that's just come out of one. Let's talk about our review of TNA Bound for Glory.
Oh God! No.
Next, we'll do that next week. All right.
Okay. And now, with that being said, it is time to end. So, anyone have any closing thoughts?
I can't wait to do this all over again, but
earlier
before midnight.
and like
Next week,
we'll figure it out. We're definitely gonna make these shorter, much shorter.
All I'll say is we'll do less derailing next week, and I hope they fix my dishwasher at work next week, because
I'm going to have
was the
more alcohol next week. I can't promise that.
Yeah. Well, we were able to get through 5 minutes without you saying something that will get us cancelled on Twitter. But yeah, I'll just say thank you guys for showing up. I had a lot of fun. I look forward to doing this next week.
I promise I'll show up with notes.
Okay. And
watch the shows, Moroney.
Yeah.
I'm fucking watching. I'll watch Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. Okay. So this will be posted on YouTube. I'm going to try and post it on SoundCloud as well. And there will be clips posted on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, and on TikTok as well. So as soon as we get those up, it'll probably be in the end card that we put after this. Yeah, I will link those in. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. And continue to watch wrestling, because wrestling should be fun. Bye.
Amen, brother. Take care.
Amen.